Hey yo, Charlemagne, we live? I think we're live. Let's see. Let's see what's happening in that comment section. 4 minutes late, unacceptable. I'm gonna need to speak to the manager. Oh god. Well, you know what? I need some dramatic ass music for this shit. I am the manager. Fact. Alrighty, let's see. Alright, so everything is good to go. It's good to go. Yo, what is going on, people? What's up? What's happening? Welcome back to the NXP podcast, the world's most inconsistent podcast in the world. If I didn't make that evident already, but here we are, we live. Yeah, also the most redundant. We always talk about the stuff like 30 years after you guys have already heard about it. Like, so by the time we discuss it, hey, you know what they say? If I haven't seen it, it's new to me. That's how it is.
Oh yeah, the whole legion of people.
That's how. Hey man, that's how it is. Hey man, that's how it is over here on Team Xbox. If we haven't played it, it's new to us. That's how it is, bro.
Hey, y'all heard about that hot new movie out called what's it called? Terminator, I think.
Yo, what is it called? Terminator Sega Genesis? Is that what it is, bro?
Right, something like that. I think there's a bright future for that.
Yeah, man, it's excited to see where this thing's go. Oh, did you hear that Disney's rebooting Star Wars as well? Oh man, it's gonna be awesome, bro. We're gonna get that sequel trilogy popping. All right, hold on one second. Hold on. I don't think so. What's going on? Hold up. All right, I just adjusted something. Hangouts was tripping. Hold up. One sec. Hangouts was tripping.
Comedy and motherfuckers couldn't hear it. Bro.
I know, right? Exactly.
Ain't that some shit?
We had some funny ass conversations and dialogue, but then here I am talking to myself, talking to the ether.
Man, or at least the Hangouts cut.
Yeah. Oh god. We really about to do that? We're gonna will that into the universe, the Hangouts cut of NXP podcast, bro. We're only here like once or twice a year, if that. Like,
man,
yeah, we hit our quota already.
Yeah, like now I gotta say, this is our third NXP podcast episode in like what, 2 months? I think we're on a roll here, gentlemen. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah. So it's obvious the next one got to be the fucking PS6 reveal.
Oh Lord. We gonna come back to y'all in what is it, 2028? Is that what it's looking like?
Hell yeah. Be like, man, we just
well, I know if they do another Naruto storm, we're gonna have to do a long stream on that one just for Chris.
What do you mean? What do you mean just for Chris?
But because of all those Storm 2 update videos.
Hey, that's the foundation. Listen, if they come out with another Storm game, I'm about to be on here just talking about the history, man.
Ah, man, you gotta do those Storm update videos again. That's what you gotta do.
Right, you gotta recreate the set and everything.
I just everything. So I just
you have to get the same chair in front of in your mom's house. Everything.
Oh Lord, man! Part of me has actually contemplated like recreating old sets just to get like that nostalgia. Like, yo, could you imagine if someone did like a deep fake where they just recreated their entire set exactly, and then they go somewhere else, and then it's just like, wait, I thought you were here this whole time. It's like, nah, man. Fooled you.
That's real juice right there. If anybody can do it, you can, bro.
I mean, I might have to.
I still get recommended the same fucking Storm 2 video, random times.
So what is this a whole roast Neo and his old school YouTube stream? I thought we were talking about Dragon Ball, but you know what? When you with the homies and you've got genuine people in your life, you don't need no structure. You don't need no format, which means this is gonna be another 4-hour podcast. But you know what? Y'all love it, though, because this is the NXP podcast. My name is Neo. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're tuning in for the very first time, go ahead and smash that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously, and it sends this podcast into the ether so we can get a lot of new dogs in our subscriber base who apparently are like, hey, man, you got to put up more episodes. That's what we do. We're going to get a lot of new people in here so we can not do podcast episodes. That's what we do. But anyways, let me introduce the panel. I got a couple of homies here, some of which you might be familiar with. So flanking on my left, we've got the one and only Shadow Wolf 712, Danny D's World, the original Krillin fan. Danny, what's going on, brother? How you been?
Well, aside from the angry dogs, I'm okay.
Hey man, who let the dogs out? Wait, why are the dogs angry? What's going on there?
Oh God. Well, one of them is my sister's dog, and she's like a pit bull boxer mix. And I swear to God, she sees anything go by that front door. It doesn't matter if it's a bird, a squirrel, a rat. She just, making noise.
Shit. It be like that, bro. It be like that. And flanking on my right, normally I would introduce my second right hand to the panel, but I want to introduce our special guest because he's got some history, because he's actually making a reoccurring appearance. We have got the one and only Future Gohan SSJ2, Jamie Snowden, in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, y'all? Glad to be back. Second podcast in a row. I think that's pretty impressive. That's a streak for me.
Hey, see, look at that. Man, we just got to clap it up, man. Look at this consistency. Look at this consistency going on for the NXP crew. And y'all said we never would. Y'all said we never would. Look at this. It's beautiful. And also, joining us on this episode, returning back to the NXP crew, he wasn't able to join us on the last part of this discussion, but he's here now to give us all of his amazing Dragon Ball takes. We have got formerly young, now just Rots 12. I do that every fucking stream and it always gets the same reaction.
We came a long way.
We have, man. You know, and yes, that was a Star Wars reference for the 3 Star Wars fans in the comment section. Clone Wars specifically. But yeah, Rob, what is going on, bro? How you been?
Oh man, you know, I'm all right. I'm just trying to make it to the next day as usual. I'm glad to be back, of course. I love chopping it up with my brothers. And real quickly, I apologize about not being here the last time. I was stuck through about 6 hours of traffic trying to get back home, and I just knew, like, nah, this can't happen.
Yeah, it was something fierce, you guys. We were actually all communicating in the group chat about this, and Rob was like, "Yeah, maybe I'll be able to make it through on the tail end of that podcast." Now, mind you, that podcast went ridiculously long. It was supposed to be like, it was supposed to be like 2.5 hours. Knowing us, it ended up being like a 4 or 5 hour podcast, and even then, I think, Rob, you had gotten home by the time we had finished, but you were just so beat up because of that damn traffic, right?
I was done. I was done with the day. I was done with that weekend, bro. I'm just about to go throw myself in a coffin right now, bro. I'm tired. It was a mess. But I tried, but yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
Absolutely. So the format for this podcast, originally what it was going to be was, since Rob wasn't here the last time, he was going to give us his history on Dragon Ball and basically the same rundown that we did in the previous podcast, but from Rob's point of view. In addition to just chopping it up with y'all in the comments section, talking about some things related to Dragon Ball, but we have actually got some news regarding the Dragon Ball media, which we are going to touch on a little bit later. Make you guys so you can savor that shit. But Rob, I want to pass the baton over to you, right?
Sure.
Dragon Ball, like many things in your life, whether it's Marvel Comics, Wolverine, Hulk, Metal Gear, Dragon Ball, I think it's safe to say, is one of the pillars in your life, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
So when talking about Dragon Ball, how did you get into the series?
Honestly, my first exposure was by complete accident because where I stayed at in Illinois, Dragon Ball Z used to come on at the end of the Fox Kids lineup. Like I forgot I don't even remember what exactly the whole deal was, but like it would be like Fox Kids where I would watch, the usual lineup. X-Men animated series, the Power Rangers, all that. When all that was over, like after that, then this new show would play is Dragon Ball Z, and it just looked dope, man. Like just from a visual standpoint, I was like, yo, what is this? I like this. It kind of reminded me of Street Fighter a little bit, but it was way more intense. So, it was one of those things where I kept trying to catch it whenever it would come on. And then from that point, my curiosity just began to grow more until more consistently when it started on the whole tsunami run, and then I started at Z like most people would. Uh, One thing I didn't know is a lot of my nerd habits actually came from my father. So somehow my father, he followed Dragon Ball because he recognized Goku almost immediately, which blew my mind. And and through him, I found out about Dragon Ball. And there was a moment where I was watching both Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, and from that point on, it just became a big love in my life. That was my introduction to it, and from that point on, it's an eternal love I will ever have through the highs and the lows. Uh, Goku, like Goku himself, I've said it on Twitter, is like my favorite fictional character, period. And that's a bold statement because a lot of people can think and go like, what would be your favorite fictional character in general? But I already know from without a doubt that is Goku because I can almost think of like a Goku related pun almost every day. Uh, and a lot of that came from not only just watching like, oh, this is a cool character, you know, someone that rises to the occasion. That's one of the things I love the most about Dragon Ball was that the hero can prevail through training. It wasn't always some magic amulet or sword or something like that. It's always through training, and that's another thing I loved about it. Uh, but yeah, but Goku and that determination and that drive that pulled me in a lot, especially in a very serious moment I had when I was younger. I had very bad pneumonia, and when that moment happened, I mean, you can call it crazy like you want, but as a kid, you got to draw from something. And as a kid, all the shots I got, all the mucus, and feeling completely terrible, all that pulled out. I pulled through all that, by just thinking about being Goku. So that's like I can almost tie my life to Dragon Ball in a way because I used that to pull on. That was a very, very trying moment. You know.
Absolutely, bro. It's funny because since you weren't here on the last portion of this podcast, every single one of us had some type of an emotional attachment to Dragon Ball in our formative years. And it went far beyond just a show that we watched because it was cool and because it was different. But what I find most fascinating about just talking about Dragon Ball, I talked how this series is kind of unlike any other. There's very few franchises out there where they come out, they do their thing, maybe they'll have a resurgence or a little boom every decade or so, but that's usually with new content, new supplemental material. Maybe in the terms of video games, they're going out and they're doing like a remaster or remake. But Dragon Ball has been so unique in the respect that for a very long time, Dragon Ball was just riding the wave of its popularity, like in terms of like how great the story was, how it was relatable to people across different parts of the globe. Like it had its initial run in Japan, and then it hit Europe, and then it hit Latin America, and then it hit the United States. Like Dragon Ball was crazy.
Wildfire.
Yeah. So what about Dragon Ball would you say, if you could sum it up in so many words, so many minutes, what is it about Dragon Ball that makes it a series that, even though there isn't always new content coming out all the time, it's something that is just like permeated pop culture where it's still talked about to this day and it's still revered? What would you say, Rob?
I would say a lot of that is some part about it tends to latch on to people. As far as what exactly does, you have to ask the individual people. But I think people experience moments in Dragon Ball Z, whatever you want to say, a moment where, like, how can I put this? A moment that I'm gonna rearrange the scale a little bit, but moments that could quote unquote change your perspective on life, even though it's just through entertainment. I know that's how I felt the first time I watched Goku turned Super Saiyan, I felt like my life changed for some reason. uh, but like just its ability to just bond with people. It could be through a fight. It could be through a certain character. It could be through certain relationships, certain stories as a whole. Everybody has uh, these ways they all got pulled to the series, and honestly, I would like to hear from more people about those ways. Like I know a guy that's a die-hard fan of like Piccolo, right? Now, somebody else could say, "Oh, well, Piccolo didn't get much time at a certain point of Z." He doesn't care. Piccolo is his dude, bro. And it's like he has a very specific mind to that. So I would like to equate. It's almost like I use this example a lot, but like Dragon Ball, and specifically in the West, Dragon Ball is like talked about as much as someone would talk about Marvel or DC. There's someone that would be talking about Dragon Ball. A lot of people would even put Dragon Ball up there with their love of Marvel and DC and stuff. Uh, and that was something very, very. How can I put this? At the time, it was very big for an anime. So I hope that kind of answers that best way I think.
Absolutely, bro. It did. Definitely, definitely. But you said something really interesting about your homie and his unabashed love for Piccolo. Piccolo was a great character, as you know. But you said something at the beginning of this podcast that kind of, I guess, spoiled where I'm going with the next topic, talking about the characters in the series, the ones that you identify with the most. Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that we all got love for the characters in Dragon Ball, but every single one of us has just one character that, like, no matter what it is, like, that's my fave for whatever reason. For some people, it's Vegeta. For some people, it's Gohan. And for a lot of people, it happens to be Goku. Now, Goku, I want to say was, even though, like, for example, Danny's favorite character, I believe, because I know you're such a big Krillin fan, Danny, but
The original Krillin fan.
exactly, yeah. But I want to say, like, even though, like, we all have our favorites, Goku is someone that's just always kind of, he's just always kind of there. And for you to say that he's your fave, like, let's talk about that, Rob. You mentioned how you grew up, and I didn't even actually know this. This is news to me, ladies and gentlemen, but I didn't know that you grew up having those health conditions, and it was really taking a beating. So talk about, like, how, first off, why Goku is your favorite and how he was able to help pull you out of those really dark situations.
All right. Well, honestly, and it's like a big staple point of my life. Um, Goku's um, just his nature, just the way he goes about his life. This whole thing of nothing seriously ties him down, but that love of what he likes to do. He likes to fight. He likes to get stronger. You can apply that to almost anything, and and you can use that as like your fuel. You could be like, you could have the Goku mindset towards, I don't know, whatever your field of work is or whatever you're going to school for. It's a very transferable thing, but it's not only just that. That's what grabbed me. It was also the upbeat nature, the dopey moments, of course. He was one of those characters for me that when he would do something dopey, you kind of wanted to reach through the TV and bonk him on the head as well. Like, damn it, Goku. Like, uh, a lot of things like that. But from watching that complete package, and of course, also knowing when to be serious. But watching that complete package, I just kind of found myself. I just kind of wanted to be like that. Not even so much from like the physical standpoint. Obviously, it's a badass fight. He's basically Bruce Lee and Superman. But like, uh, I just wanted. I bonded so much with that outlook on the life because there was a because of following Goku so hard. I was able to be in the position of I always found myself like being able to find the bright side and stuff, or finding a way to pull my thoughts away from other things. Like it helped me a lot with like not being able to worry about shit that's going on that's like next week. Is like oh well, awesome, I can do this today. Something's going on today. Even though I might have some BS next week, I can focus on the now. It really helped me a lot in achieving that part, and that itself has helped me a lot because I've always been able to kind of brighten myself up by like, oh man, all these things going on, but for all these troubles going on, I have this one thing that's awesome right now, and I can latch on to that, and I will just keep rolling with that. So that, in and of itself, was a major thing that bonded towards my life, and and as cheesy as it may sound, when I had the whole pneumonia thing, I was thinking about all the times when I would be just trying to get through like so many. The thing I remember most about having that bad pneumonia was all the shots they gave me. They stuck my ass so much. It was ridiculous. And I hated shots. And I just remember like just the overwhelming fear. I was very young when this happened. It's like the overwhelming fear I would have when they would bring that damn table in. And I was like, I gotta get another shot. It was ridiculous. Yeah. But I always tried to prepare myself for it by like thinking like, okay, like Goku going against Frieza, or any one of those moments where you had to dig deep and turn up on it. It's like some people might find it cheesy, but like that shit, I got through it because of that.
It's
And
beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
yeah, man. So it's like I almost feel like part of me like I owe a debt to this series because of that. Because uh, I can say like my life be in the worst would probably be in the worst position if I didn't have Dragon Ball and specifically Goku as like the backbone of just something like just help me just segue from the BS in my life. But I can uh I could go in about some other characters I like as well. I didn't want to just make this the whole Goku party and stuff.
Yeah, go ahead. Any other characters that really resonated with you, or you not even that they resonate with you, or maybe you thought that they were just really interesting. Maybe you hadn't seen a character done like that at the time. Yeah, free for all. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I just kind of jump around this real quick. Uh, obviously there's Krillin. Like Krillin is, I I can definitely say Krillin is that type of dude that you want to be your boy. I have someone I could say was definitely the Krillin in my life, but fortunately he passed away a few years ago. And it's funny that even though we had a dark sense of humor at his funeral, I even said I was like, man, you had to be killed, man. But that's like a dark joke we had though. So it's like, cause he always said like, man, I would take a bullet for you. So, but dark joke, I know, but that was
Hey,
like
hey
our
man,
humor and
hey
stuff.
man, listen. You ain't gotta explain anything except to you and your homies. That's all it is, bro. That's
But
different
like,
kind of bond, and that's the beautiful part about it.
yeah, yeah, he was definitely, when it comes to being a homeboy, he was definitely someone you want to have on your side. But also, I didn't think about it a lot more until I met someone like Danny. But like when Krillin, like the courage he would have to step in at moments that you know you're about to get fucking annihilated, bro. To still throw your hat in the ring, you gotta be a crazy some bitch to jump in there and say, I'm about to go in, I'm about to slap the shit out of this tiger right now. Like that's the best example for that. But like definitely the courage of Krillin, I admire that. And I think a lot of people don't speak on that enough. Uh I would like to see Krillin be appreciated more. So yeah, another one that is I like Piccolo as well. I think Piccolo was like that first real exposure. Well, I gotta be specific. Piccolo Jr., the one we all know, because I remember somebody was like, want to be a smart ass, was like, what Piccolo? I was like, you know what Piccolo I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's always one of them. There's always one.
Yeah. So, you know, to me specifically, uh, with Piccolo was one of those clear depictions of villain become ally, and I know you could apply that with almost everybody Goku went against, because almost all everybody Goku went against fought him at some point. But I think with Krillin, like, I mean, well, not Krillin, Piccolo was for me my first real example of that, and it was either between Piccolo or the Green Ranger, whichever one I saw first. But like someone that started out as a villain ends up becoming part of the squad and stuff.
Right.
That was my first real exposure to it. Uh, and then him just fully enthralling into being part of the group, but still kind of being a little standoffish. I thought that was cool about him. Uh, trying to think who else. Uh, shit. Sorry about that. I mean, who else? I don't want to just be ranting too long about this though, man.
Listen, you can say it. You can say it, bro. General Tao is your favorite villain. It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Oh yeah, totally.
All right, he was giving the business to young Goku. Pause. Let's get that shit in there, man. There's always gonna be one person in the comment section. That's how it is. But yeah, it seems like you definitely you have a love for all these characters, but there's always one that resonates with you, and I think that's the beautiful part about fiction, how it can be so transformative. Like, and even if it's not even the same situation, like it takes to the same extreme as like Goku losing a friend, and that's where he's finding the strength. It's the action and what that means, the significance with that character that you hold so dear to your heart. We're going on decades at this point, which is insane. But speaking about, oh god, here we go. People in the comment section already saying pause. Speaking about Dragon Ball, as it's been, like it had a little bit of a resurgence when Dragon Ball Kai came out. Oh, it's over a decade at this point. It's absolutely insane. And we've had a couple of small things here and there, but it wasn't until 2013 where we got our first big, huge, major addition to the Dragon Ball franchise with Dragon Ball Battle of Gods. And since then, we've had sequel movies. We've got Dragon Ball Super, and then we had a new movie stem from that too. So for the past, I want to say 7-8 years, we've been getting a lot of new Dragon Ball content. So overall, how would you rate Dragon Ball 2013 and onwards? What did you think about the first two movies? What do you think about Super as a show? If you want to throw in some of your thoughts about the manga as well. And of course, you got to talk about that Dragon Ball Super Broly. So go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
All right, so well, number one, Battle of Gods. That was a moment where I remember I said it on my own YouTube channel. I was like, yo, I'm about to watch this movie just with no subs, because that was our first. I mean, that was gonna be the option. I was like, I'm just gonna look. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm about to look at this, man.
It was a long year, bro. It was a long year. I'll say that.
Man, like seriously, man. I'll be like, yo, I have no idea what's going on right now, but I'm about to watch this. Cause it was just, man, I remember I was starving for something new on the Dragon Ball tip. Man. Just really quickly, y'all know that drought, man, where the games kept coming out and the games kept doing the same story. Some tried to dabble with original stories. It was a bad drought, man. And I ignore GT all the time. I know people keep trying to throw that in my way. In my personal path, I don't believe in GT. But that's just me. That's not me trying to throw it out there for anybody else. But I just kind of ignore that. So for me, truly, like with Dragon Ball Z ended, and then we had Kai to look for. But then Kai only went to the Cell Saga. It took a while before we got the final chapter. So it was a drought, man. I was starving for something new. So it comes out, eventually just kind of get to the moment I finally watched it. I liked it. I liked where they was trying to go. I liked that they tried to pull the reins back a little bit to just kind of show that not everything about Dragon Ball Z makes this whole series. Because Dragon Ball Z is it's a tone shift from the original Dragon Ball, especially for someone that probably so furiously tied with Z so much that I seen some people go back and watch Dragon Ball and say they couldn't watch it. I mean, that's it all depends on the person. But I did like, they tend to try to pull things back. I know when people heard the name Super Saiyan God, they were expecting some big Herculean muscle bound type of thing, and that's not what it was. I really liked Battle of the Gods. I like Beerus now. Beerus is a great character, fucking hilarious. I like Whis. I liked where it was going. I was interested, and of course, Chris, me and you, we talk all the time about just that one little moment. I will not let you destroy my world. We talk about that all the time.
Ooh, all right, let's just take a little
one
bit.
little
Let's
scene.
just take a little bit to appreciate the greatness that was Sean Shamel's performance. Now, listen, I have nothing but love and respect for the Japanese seiyuu. They've made this series. They are irreplaceable. But I'm just gonna be honest. No one does it like Sean Shamel. And that scene right there, I will not let you destroy my world, and how it just crescendos into this. Like, I know that dude's vocal cords were shot for 2 weeks straight, but that man did this shit for us. And after all the abuse he took online from people saying, "You dubbing Battle of the Gods yet? You dubbing Battle of the Gods yet?" Oh yeah, he dubbed it, and he did the thing with that. I always I love bringing this up every single podcast, but do y'all remember that infamous tweet that he made? I think it was circa either late 2013, post the Battle of the Gods movie coming out in Japan, early 2014, before they announced the localization, like it's still video game terminology, before they announced they were dubbing it. He basically came on Twitter and he says something along the lines of, "My mom could be dying of cancer in the hospital right now, and somebody would still ask me, 'Are you dubbing Battle of Gods yet?'" Yo, when I tell you, bro, the laughter, oh my god.
That man had to endure everybody constantly harassing him about that movie. It was just...
Dude, and this is why I could never work in such a big fandom, because I'd be brutally honest. Like, there's gonna be a point where I'm just gonna be like, all right, yeah, well, nothing is said yet, and then I'll be silent about it. But if I'm getting dudes blowing up my DMs like, "Oh, just hanging out with my friends in the park," that's not the vocal recording studio for Battle of Gods. I'm like, man, what the?
What he needs? I'll save it till later. After we talk about
Yeah,
it.
but go ahead, back on point.
yeah. But y'all do not understand how often, like, me and Chris, we had this thing that we have, like we could just text each other just a random statement and know exactly what the other person's thinking. Like, there could be some random day I'll text this fool, "I will not let you destroy my world," and he'll just be like, "Yo."
and we're working on getting the Metal Gear references once I play through that series.
Yeah. But like, don't even get me started on Buried to Light. Like, that just starts a whole thing.
Oh no.
But that's another discussion. We gotta have that Devil May Cry podcast.
Yeah, we definitely gotta have that.
But yeah, though. So I liked where it was going. I liked what it was introducing. To just kind of immediately take that and go towards. Now, I got really hyped at the second movie, Resurrection F.
Mm-hmm.
Resurrection of it. I can't get the fucking name. They had 20 names, bro.
Resurrection. It was like Resurrection of F. I remember because me and Jamie, the second the story broke, Jamie texted me. He's like, "Dude, new Dragon Ball movie come out. Frieza has a different form." And I was like, "Are you serious? I'm coming home from class right now." And I still remember us recording that video. And we called it like 4 different names: Resurrection of F, Resurrection F. And then some people were saying, no, you got to say it like Resurrection. Like Resurrection.
And the revival of F. And then you had the hardcore pure-hearted who were like, "No, it's Fukatsu no F."
Oh my god. I see people do that.
The people who still say Boku no Hero Academia. And I'm like, fam, it's my hero. Just say my hero.
Yeah, like don't be that guy. We roast that guy.
Oh, no, wait. No. I've yet to meet the person who has said Dragon Ball Cho.
Ooh.
I've yet, outside of the first initial announcement, which we all did because we didn't know it was going to be called Super yet, but Dragon Ball Cho. If I see somebody come out here and call it Cho instead of Super, I'm going to lose it.
Ooh. Man. But I got really hyped for that because they got real balls. He was like, Frieza. I'm like, Frieza's back? What the shit. And then of course the new form. I immediately loved new form. But I know some people they wanted it to look a certain way and stuff. I'm like, man, it looks dope. Get out of here, man. Look like the world's greatest Laker player, bro. Just stop playing, bro. But but I was really that movie is a hype fest. Like I showed somebody that didn't really follow Dragon Ball Z after Z finished, and I just showed him that movie, and he ate it up. He ate it up like a damn sandwich. He loved it. He's like, man, like I want to know more. Like what's going on now? So that's just me showing it to someone that only watched up to Z and then just kind of stopped after that. That movie is hype incarnate, man. It's like uh one of my favorite moments was the group fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, how can you not love it? Everybody got a chance to whoop some ass and stuff. Like, it was dope, man.
Yeah.
That movie did almost everything I wanted it to do. They even worked in the damn Frieza thing, man.
Yeah, that freeze. And the new song they did from Maximum the Hormone, that shit was hype. I didn't expect to love that.
That ain't even really new, man. That's been around for a while.
Has it?
Yeah, they wrote that completely unprompted, just as a fan tribute a long time ago.
Really?
Toriyama said that was the song that inspired the film.
Really?
Oh wait, so I thought that they wrote that specifically for the movie. You told me they just wrote that about Freeze and they're like, fuck it, let's put it in the movie. Like,
that was a fan made song. Like that, it was completely made by the band.
That is baller status. That is awesome. Holy crap.
Yeah,
that's Frieza.
Yeah.
He has that impact on people.
Like probably most people, I only knew about the song's existence from a bridge. I mean, I was just, but he had the scout, he had this is the ringtone. I was like, oh,
that's a
cool.
badass ringtone. Da-da-da-da-da,
right. So that's what I was like. That's when I knew it existed, and then when they actually put it in the movie, I was like, yo, they wilding right now. And so then all that, and then introducing Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and I don't know why people thought it was so complicated. Maybe it was the name, because I remember that the title card. That title card be long as hell.
Oh god.
Describing his form.
Super Saiyajin Godo, Super Saiyajin Blue. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. So, but I liked it. I like where it was going. Yeah. I enjoy. But again, I would just say, in essence, I enjoyed the movie and I enjoyed where it was going, what it was looking at, what it was looking like, pushing the series forward. I'm trying to speed this up a little bit more. Super was a little rough at first. You know, I mean, everybody remembers the animation debacles and stuff when it first started.
Episode 5.
Yeah. The thing for me with Super was I enjoyed some of the additions they made. Like I like that the fight between Super Saiyan God, Goku, and Beerus was longer, but at the same time, I liked how the fight looked in the movie, even though it didn't last that long as a form in the movie. You know, I don't know why am I kidding? It didn't have the moment me and Chris always talk about, but you know, I like how they extended the fight. We got to see more of the scale of the form. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed they played up Beerus and Whis a little bit more. Got me to further understand that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that aspect from that. The resurrection F when they redid that one in Super, that one I was a little bit more back and forward on. I still think I overall liked the movie, how the movie did it more. It's like I don't really have a lot of memories. I think I only watched that through once, the anime version. Well, twice if you count everybody was watching it with the fan subs at first. And then I went back when they actually dubbed it. I don't really have a lot of fond memories with that, but I knew they had to do it. So
yeah, to be honest, those two arcs in Super, and this is where I go back and forth with Danny about this constantly. I think retelling listen, I understand. I'll give it this much. Danny. Certain things, yes, the series did do better and they expanded upon. But if we're talking about everything grand scale and scope, I'm watching 20 episode, like I'm speaking specifically on the Battle of the Gods arc, not like the first part of Super with the more like lighthearted slice of life stuff. I love that stuff. I'm talking about when you get into retelling the movies. I wasn't a fan of that stuff because it's like, yo, like there's a reason why that movie was 90 minutes and those fight scenes worked, and I'm just watching this in the show and I'm like, what are you doing? But anyway, we're not.
I mean, I disagree about the fight scene.
Listen,
honestly, but
that Beerus fight, that Beerus fight was goated in the movie.
Yeah,
bro.
all 30 seconds of it was great.
Yes, as opposed to what? 6 hours of them just sitting there, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yes.
The thing in the show, it had so much more meaning.
Okay, but that shit wasn't hype though.
No, we ain't doing this.
That shit was not the man. All right, it had meaning.
Today.
It had meaning. I'll read about it on Wikipedia if it had meaning. There we go. Anyways, but continuing on, so we're going past the Resurrection F Battle of Gods trash adaptation, going into the new stuff of Super.
Yeah.
Going into the new stuff.
Finally, to get into that, I enjoyed how it felt like, once again, trying to incorporate more of OG Dragon Ball into the field where everything wasn't so sudden and immediately serious. And I liked how they tried to make that work with other characters, sliding into it. Like, okay, how does someone like Vegeta live his day to day? Like more things like that is what I kind of wanted. Cause I'm one of those guys to where I can get wrapped into, if I'm invested in your characters, almost as much as I want to see the fighting, I want to see the character interaction. Yeah. So yeah, so I thought it was cool them trying to incorporate that. I didn't really have no faults with that. I have my one major fault with Super, and I'll get into that when I get to the end of it because I'm gonna speed this up. Is but I'll touch that when I get there. I think the first arc that really jumped out at me, well, it jumped out at everybody. It was the next big deal. Was Universe 6 tournament. That was cool, man. Got to see some new characters, some new designs, how some new people work. We all got to see Hit. I liked Hit almost immediately. That was a cool ass character. Uh, the addition of bringing back the Kaioken, that was fucking dope. I still don't know how Moscow pulled that off, because I was like, she's still tearing it up on the mic as long as she had. 'Cause that's when I first even heard of that the Kaioken was coming back officially, not that Super Kaioken moment. But so yeah, so I was feeling that. I loved seeing all the new characters. Keep going after that.
Which that scene was dope to watch live because me and a couple of friends were watching Super like live when it was airing in Japan off live streams, like no subs, no nothing, just like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
So when that Kaioken, the Kaioken scene hit, man, it was like all of Twitter was like, no way, like it was blowing up. It was crazy.
It was beautiful, man, and it was brilliant because I was like, man, the speed you would need to stop this, someone that can stop time momentarily. Like, how could you even push to yourself? And I was like, the Kaioken, that is brilliant. He's gonna force his body to go fast enough. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it, man. It was. And then, when they give you the one moment though where he powers up, and then it just dies down for a second, he just looks up and he hits you with the Kaioken. I mean, just explode, bro. Just oh shit.
That's a top 5 moment.
Right.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was crazy addition, and I love that whole fight, man. That was great. To keep moving forward. I don't remember what order everything happened in, so if the order is out of
Yeah, you can just talk about the arcs in general,
Yeah. So just to keep that going, that's what stuck out to me. The whole introduction to Zeno, that was funny. That was fucking funny. Zeno pops up and everybody just kind of pisses their pants. I thought that was. I think that is so Toriyama it hurts. Like, this is the one that will murder everybody. Right? So that was really cool. Real quick to speak specifically about the dub, another moment that sticks out before I go into the moment everybody likes to talk about. When they did that copy Vegeta fight, and they got the Ocean Vegeta.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That was
Brian
cool.
Drummond coming back.
That was a nice
That was a very
reference.
nice touch. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like bravo to them for that, yo. And I like that they took a chance to just double down on a contribution they made to the series. It was like something like people that watched dub versions of Dragon Ball understand why this is a big deal. So that was cool. And I mean, it gave Danny the golden opportunity to screenshot Vegeta with a pacifier in his mouth. Bro.
Oh man, I did not miss.
Yeah,
I
he
said this.
didn't. He had that motherfucker on the quick draw.
Mm.
Oh man. uh, yeah, so that was a great moment. So now to go into man, Future Trunks, and more specifically, Goku Black, or for the longest time, most people just said Black Goku.
Yeah.
Like until it was like dubbed, most people was like, nah, Black Goku sounds better.
Yo, it really did, bro. Like, yo,
I like Black Goku.
Especially because that shit was around the time. For those who are, watching, who are overseas, who don't keep up with like world politics, over here in like 2015, 2016, we were getting ready for a presidential election, and there was this ongoing joke when it came to Donald Trump, because he said, "Look at my African American over there." Are you the greatest? And then the fucking meme on Twitter was, "Look at my African American friend over there, Black Goku." And it was
Black Goku.
I was dying, bro.
Don't forget when they dubbed.
Oh god.
You're fired. This man isn't black.
This man isn't black.
Yo, that was like, there was no way they could have avoided that shit, bro.
Oh my god, they were in uniform and everything. It was.
Oh.
Bro.
That moment, the more you think about it, like, bro, that moment right there, it was just so, it caught on like wildfire that my sister sent me a text saying, "What is going on with Dragon Ball and police brutality?" I was crying, bro.
This man is
imagine having to explain that to somebody.
You right? Yeah.
I gotta tell you though, one thing I'm always gonna remember about that arc is getting this big old fight on Facebook with like 4 other guys.
I was there.
Who
Man.
they kept insisting on what it was, and they were on the whole "it's future Goten" train. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
how does that even make sense? But I said that based on everything that we've seen, I said it looks like somebody else is inside Goku's body. I said I don't know if they dug up his dead body and possessed it. I don't know if there was a body swap somehow, but I'm guaranteeing you it's somebody else who stole Goku's body. And those dudes clowned me for like 3 weeks after I said that. I mean, harassing me nonstop. And then the moment it happened, I turned around, tried to turn around, and basically I told you so. I was already blocked.
Wow. Oh, they didn't want that smoke. They didn't want that smoke.
Blocked you specifically not to catch that clapback.
That's why I always screenshot, video record audio, because now you gonna take this L one way or another. I don't care.
You gotta hold people to their word, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you ain't about to run from this truth.
Fast. This true. But anyway, yeah. So continuing on, Rob.
Yeah. So when that arc started, man, that was a fun year, man. That was a fun year because I liked getting together with people and just I'm a guy. I like to speculate. I know there's some people out there that look down. I don't get why. But it's like, you get your creative juices flowing and stuff. Like, I could be entirely wrong, but I enjoyed the conversation we had.
So were you one of those people that thought that Reed Richards was going to show up at the end of WandaVision? I'm just saying, man. Listen, we're all friends here. We're all friends here, Rob.
I missed that train. I missed that hype train. I'm glad I did because that shit got derailed.
You just let that train go past the station. I feel it.
Yeah. I think that train. I think somebody got held in front of that train and went through it, man.
Facts.
So yeah, that was a fun year, man. 'Cause it was a mystery. Everybody was trying to figure out like who is Black Goku? Who is Black Goku? And like, how the hell is this a thing? How did this happen? Why is it happening in Future Trunks' world? Why is Future Trunks' hair blue now? There was a lot of questions, man. A lot of questions. So it was just fun from the mystery standpoint, and then a rare thing in Dragon Ball is like, and this is the thing I got to give Super credit for. Like, we started seeing a lot of different avenues. Like, it's like now we have a mystery in Dragon Ball. Like, that's different. We have a full on mystery, an investigation, as opposed to all the ass whooping going on.
True. True.
So yeah, so that was just a fun arc. I'm not too fond of how it ended. The ending was kind of weird. I don't know
Man.
if y'all got to talk about that before. But
Yeah, well, we didn't really touch on it too heavily, but I think it's one of those things where, see, this is one of the areas too where the anime and the manga are so different. The anime, it was the Future Trunks arc. It was billed as Future Trunks arc, so they kind of wanted to keep him like involved from a marketing standpoint and a story standpoint, and so they tried to basically let him be the one to kind of mostly, finish things off. I just don't think they really got to that point very naturally.
Yeah.
They Gary stewed Trunks just a little bit there.
Yeah.
But then in the manga, it's like they did the exact opposite, to the point where the manga doesn't even bill it as the Future Trunks arc anymore. It's the Goku Black or Zamasu arc now, I guess they call it there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Trunks took such a hard backseat in that arc, man. Like almost everything involving him that was cool in the series, like meeting Gohan again and seeing Krillin's family, and I think even most of his interaction with his younger self was like cut from the manga. He doesn't even do it.
See, there's no fun in that, man. That's a lot of things that kind of. I mean, you got to see Future Trunks again. I mean, you have to take advantage of that. So the fact that they didn't in the manga, that's just sad, because there's a lot of those moments. Seeing Gohan, especially like seeing Gohan when he was about to leave, and Gohan he was looking like future Gohan for a second and shit like that. Like, that was cool, man. So the miss out on those moments are truly a shame.
Right.
Overall, what happened, how they ended it wasn't really great for me, but I did like the ride, so I can't completely call that an L. But the biggest highlight of that was, I think for me, was the conversation, because it was a mystery.
Yeah, of course. And speaking specifically about, because there's a couple of things here in terms of an overall discussion on Super that I know a lot of people in the comment section are already like asking us questions on. But if anything, overall, when it comes to your talk about Super, like the last arc in particular, some people I know would go so far as to say that was the best arc in all of Super. Like, that was like where it peaked, and then when it peaked, it's like it ended right there, and everyone's like, "Oh God, where's all the new stuff?" So, what would you say to that, based off of the final arc that we had, it being a tournament and all that? Because there was a lot of good moments in that final arc.
A lot of great moments. I can see where some people came from. I do think that last arc gave us, like, that was like an ideal arc if you were a Dragon Ball fan. It was like, even before the tournament started, the recruiting episodes, man, was just, if you loved someone that wasn't a Saiyan, they got some love, man, at that point. They probably didn't so much as far as the fighting went.
Yeah.
But they at least had a moment. They had an episode. Some even had 2 episodes to their moments. Would I call it the best arc in Super? Possibly. You know what? Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go.
I will say it. I will say it because it was a nice platter. It's like it gave me a lot of different things that I ended up enjoying that kind of combined together. Do I wish things could have happened differently? Sure. But overall, I would say that like, if you, like I said before, if you were a Dragon Ball fan and you liked other type of characters, or you liked seeing a new form, or seeing somebody get a specific type of moment, definitely, like, man, that Roshi moment, the greatest Kamehameha, I love that moment.
See, now I want to go back and rewatch some of those classic moments. But knowing me, I'll probably just rewatch the entire arc. But before anything else, Rob, you've been talking at length, and I know it's coming from passion, and so it's not that boring to you. But I want to give you.
I'm trying not to bore everybody else that's listening, so I'm trying to speed it up. Man.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. But I want to give you a little bit of a break, but also another way for you to flex your creative muscles. Because speaking about the end of Super, we haven't really gotten a concrete announcement on where the series is going to be going forward. A lot of people are speculating that, they're taking a little bit of a break, but they'll be back next year. And it's been like, how long? I want to say 3 years. Has it been 3 years or it's been 2 years since Super wrapped up? I want to say, I think it's 3 years, right? Is it?
I want to say it's 3.
It's 3 years.
It's been 3 years? Yeah, because obviously it wasn't last year. And then 2019, I think we were getting the dub for the last season in 2019. I am not even too familiar, but it's been a while. And in between there, we did get a movie that came out, Dragon Ball Super Broly, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But we have never gotten a concrete announcement of a sequel series. But just recently, courtesy of Toei themselves, unintentionally and intentionally, whatever, we did learn that another Dragon Ball Super movie is in production, and so much to the point where it's actually set to be out next year. So, Jamie, I'm gonna pass the baton over to you. Tell us about this, man. Like, how did this all come to be that we were all just chilling, minding our business, wondering, all right, when is Super coming back? When is Super coming back? And then we hear that they're doing a Dragon Ball Super movie, which as of right now, it is not officially announced, but we've seen the leaks. We know it's coming. It's just a matter of hours. So catch us up to speed, Jamie.
All right, so there has been a revamp that they've been planning for months now for the Dragon Ball website. It was going to be a completely redone, complete, almost sort of reboot of the website. So much so to the point where they even created both a Japanese and an English app, which you can actually download. It doesn't work. I mean, you can go in it, but it'll just say that they're undergoing maintenance. But it was a complete site revamp. Well, during this, on the European side of that website's maintenance, it was leaked much earlier than supposed to that there is a new Dragon Ball Super movie coming in 2022. That post was obviously quickly deleted because if you try to go there now, it's simply an image of Beerus that says error 404. But yeah, that's how it ended up getting leaked. And that was yesterday, I believe. But today, this morning, actually, we got another leak, which I assume was due to some additional data mining from people, that there was a official Toriyama comment that was leaked. And if you're okay with me going over it, Chris.
Go ahead, brother.
Toriyama says, an all-new movie since Dragon Ball Super Broly is currently in the making. Just like the previous movie, I'm heavily leading the story and dialogue production for another amazing film. I really shouldn't talk too much about the plot yet, but be prepared for some extreme and entertaining bouts, which may feature an unexpected character. We'll be charting through some unexplored territory in terms of the visual aesthetics to give the audience an amazing ride. So I hope everybody will look forward to the new movie. And that is all the information we have as of right now. However, literally any minute now, any hour, there could be the official announcement, because it is Goku Day in Japan right now. And that is when this information was supposed to have released. So any minute now, within the hour, we could be getting that official announcement.
There we go. Like, thank you, Toei Entertainment Europe, for that breaking news update. But apparently,
I hope they got something that's like still on it. I hope they got like a poster or some shit that didn't get leaked or something, man. Just so you could throw something out there we ain't seen.
Well, one thing I've noticed is people are looking really into Toriyama's comments,
Right.
especially the ones that are about
I gotta say, and
unexpected
this is
character.
actually where I wanted to lead the discussion next, Jamie, because I didn't read that Toriyama statement yet. I'm the older I get, I'm not really scrounging like the world for news. I just wait till it's announced and I check it. But there's a lot in that statement to unpack, because normally whenever a creator says something about their franchise, normally they take like the Stanley approach, where it's like, well, I'm not really working on it, but I hope for the best, and I'm excited to see what they do. But this man Toriyama is talking like, yeah, I'm involved in this, I'm gonna be doing this, and unexpected characters. Jamie, what do you pull from this, man? Because that's a lot of stuff to unpack, bro.
So there's a couple different things to pull from this. So we do have his line where it says unexpected character. We need to keep in mind who this quote is from. Is this a quote from somebody like Kevin Feige, who unexpected character could be somebody who's very audience pleasing? No, this is from Akira Toriyama. An unexpected character could easily be somebody like Launch. Like, let's not forget who this man is. I love Toriyama, but let's not forget and that's why I say there's so many people tearing apart this and looking way too into this statement, when Toriyama has done this multiple times before, and not only has it been like he has said these things to say, oh, this character might appear or so and so might happen, blah blah blah. Not only has it been very minuscule, sometimes it hasn't happened at all. In fact, I wanted to lend this question out to the chat. Who remembers when the Battle of Gods movie was first entering its very few production stages, and we also got a Toriyama comment? Who remembers that when that movie was entering its first stages, that Battle of Gods was originally supposed to be a movie from the point of view of Goten and Trunks?
I remember hearing about that vaguely, very, very vaguely.
And I mean, again, it just changed. That movie wasn't like that at all. And again, like this specific comment here that says, where is it? We'll be charting through some unexplored territory in terms of visual aesthetics to give the audience an amazing ride. They've said something similar to that with almost every cinematic Dragon Ball film release they've ever had within the past 10 years. So I wouldn't be taking that and stretching it out to say that the movie's all in CG, or like some of these people are saying, or that, it's going to be in 4D. Now, Geekdom actually said that he gave a good theory to that it could be that the movie is being released in 4K. Which that is a good theory and is something that could be what they're leading to. But I don't think it's something as grand and serious as the entire movie is in CG. I think that's a little ridiculous.
Now, what about you, Danny? Throwing it over to you. You read this statement, you hear what they're saying, you know about the history of Dragon Ball as it's advertised. What do you potentially think we're getting out of it? Because I've seen some really interesting, obviously comedic takes from you about this situation. What do you think, bro?
I think it's completely in stop motion. I think the mysterious character is 21, and I think we're getting a stop motion remake of the Fighter Z storyline. There you go.
You had me until that last part. I was like, oh shoot, damn, stop motion? Yo, there we go.
That man had the Draco going on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not really fretting the production side of things. I mean, this is Toei. When they need to throw money at something, they will. And when it's one of their biggest cash cows, when it's their baby like this, they're not going to like just toss out some Saturday morning cartoon tier reboot looking. Not to knock reboot. It was great for its time. I'll say that. But you're not going to get something that looks like something from like the 90s. Okay, so everybody needs to chill. Whatever direction they take, it's gonna be something that they make look good. But in terms of what I think could be happening, I have to be completely honest and say I genuinely don't know. But I don't think that it's quite what a lot of people are leaping toward. I'll say that much, because I've seen a lot of people say that, it means that, one of the other past movie villains is going to come back and become canon, so we're going to get cooler, or we're going to get we're gonna get Turles, or we're gonna get, and it's like, no, I don't think
Real
it's that.
quick, real quick. I'll
Yeah.
say something. Yeah. Shout out to the one guy that said Janemba.
Yeah, I noticed that. Dragon Ball Super J.
Yo.
Man, I've also seen people try to speculate that it's something as like out there and yet not, as saying it's going to be. Some people have said that it's going to be basically Xeno Goku, and this is actually going to be a Dragon Ball Heroes movie, and it's like they wouldn't have teased it as a Dragon Ball Super movie if it was a Heroes movie. But I've seen other people insist that it's GT Goku somehow traveling through dimensions, and it's Super Saiyan 4 versus
God.
Super Saiyan Blue.
Where did they get that from?
You mean the many fanfics that they've been writing for the past 20 years?
In fairness, I'm actually going to give that one a little bit more credence than I normally would, just because I can understand why they might think that, because there's a lot of hype around GT right now, just because
Fighters.
It's 25th. No, it's its 25th anniversary in Japan.
See, I don't even keep track of that.
Even Dokkan Battle's been doing like GT events and everything. So
GT
I thought
enough that people keep up with his anniversary.
All I thought
hated.
All I know about GT is the fighters inclusion. People were hype about that, and I was like, oh, that's fire. Yeah.
I don't think GT is like a great Dragon Ball series. I don't even really think it's a good Dragon Ball series. But it's not like it's hated, and it's certainly not hated in Japan. They just view it as more Dragon Ball. So
I just don't. I literally don't.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But no, I don't think it's going to be anything quite like that either. What I honestly would not be surprised though if it is something like Android 21, or if we do get like the demon characters. What's her name? Jamie, help me out here.
Who? Oh, Android 21.
No. Yes, of course. No, Dabura's sister.
Toei and Mirror.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. It wouldn't terribly shock me if it's them, even if it's not like tying into any of the other multiverse stuff. But honestly, it also would not shock me if it's something as simple as just a Rayleigh or something like that.
So do you guys think they would do something? Because here's the thing I'm actually curious about. And I want to pose this question to you guys. So it's called a Dragon Ball Super movie. Now, this is where I kind of go back and forth. Now, obviously, when you look at things on surface level, it could just be branding. It could be branding because Dragon Ball Super is what they've been marketing on a lot of things. But do you guys think that maybe this movie isn't going to be... even if they are bringing back other villains or not, do you think it's going to be on the same scale and scope as the previous films? Like where they would have to bring back one of the big bads, or do you think it's just going to be another adventure that they do, just random stuff, fluff? It could be a comedy for all we know. Who knows?
Okay.
But here's the question. Yeah. I said all that to bring us to this point. What are the odds that this movie is, and I know people hate the C word, that this movie is actually canon and they leave it alone and don't retell it in the story? Anyone can jump in on this.
I mean, that's entirely possible. It's also entirely possible that if they ever do an anime adaptation, they might want to expand on it. I don't know, but anything is possible. Like, we have nothing nailed down. They might even. I mean, honestly, that I can understand why that'd be a tempting prospect for them, if only because, that way they can jump ahead in terms of like giving the script writers more time to write things out. By just, okay, here's this, we're adapting the movie, just do that. That's easy, do the heavy lifting on this stuff for the future.
Please no.
But I mean, it might not happen too.
Because that's what worries me. Because the Broly movie, I loved that movie. But
that one can't be redone.
If they're going to ruin it, and then you guys are gonna see what I've been talking about for.
Okay, Jamie actually wants them to redo that one.
I would love them to redo the Broly.
I personally disagree with that. I think that in this particular case, the movie covered it quite well. The only part of that movie that I'd like to see, like, sort of retold in like the series maybe, or expanded on, would be like the first 20 minutes or so, the stuff on Planet Vegeta. I would be very interested in seeing that a little bit more fleshed out.
Okay, that I will give you.
A little bit more fleshed out. But no, with this upcoming movie though, honestly, I I'm sitting here thinking, and it's like I'm trying hard not to like nail anything down or get married to any idea, because it like Jamie said before, you know, they said certain things about Battle of Gods, and then when it dropped, you know, different. They said Toriyama too after Battle of Gods said that, oh, I'm probably not going to be involved with the next project, and then he's literally writing all of Resurrection
that man is the Hideo
and then
Kojima
next
of
thing you
anime.
know, he's writing out an entire
Kojima quit
series.
it like 20 times.
Well,
Yo.
it's funny. It's just hilarious to me that Dragon Ball Evolution actually made him so mad that he came out of retirement just so that it wouldn't be the last Dragon Ball thing.
Oh, absolutely.
But,
Shit.
but
Geeko.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's based on what they've said before about how, you know, Broly was almost too over the top and everything else, and we're probably going to go in a different direction for the next one and everything else, and the fact that they want stakes, but they don't want to, you know, keep trying to introduce someone who's ridiculously that much more powerful, you know, and everything else. You know, it could go in a direction we're not expecting. Like, what if it is a case where, like, you know, sort of, I don't want to say it's going to be an exact Fighters adaptation, but what if it is something like that, where like people wind up losing their ability to, you know, use ki, or like it's greatly limited, and then they wind up having to fight enemies that normally wouldn't have been an issue, but now suddenly are, you know, beating the crap out of them, or you know, somebody uses the Dragon Balls to that effect, or what if, you know, it is something that's just a bit more adventure-like rather than, you know, constant fighting. I mean, you could still have your fights, but, you know, you'd have a bit more of an adventure-like structure. There are so many ways that this could go, and it's just amusing to me to see how many people like put these theories out on social media within the span of one day, and not only them, but like some of their following are taking these ideas as like gospel. And there are so many rumors out there right now that I am seeing people like get very, very like vehemently defensive of. Like there's one guy even who said that basically this movie was going to be quote unquote canonizing GT, and that it was already reported on by Brazil hours ago, and it's like, okay, the thing you got to understand about the Dragon Ball fandom in Brazil is that there have been leaks for everything that supposedly came out of Brazil over the last like 15 years, and every single time it's been like the opposite of what actually happened.
Yep.
So
they're passionate. They're a passionate bunch of fans, but oh boy.
Oh yeah, they're rumors.
The men's side is in Brazil, huh?
Yeah, that's
so
the rumor mill right there.
Hearing someone so cocky because of Brazil, that's hilarious to me. But there is just so much room, man, and so many ways that this could go, and just watching people try to like nail this down to, oh, it has to be this, or watching people, you know, already preemptively complaining about it because they have this idea of what it's going to be and they hate it. Like,
yeah,
we do need to slow that down. It's something I used to do too, though, to be fair, so I understand that. But like, I get that you're doing this out of a place of love, but you have to kind of, you know, slow down and just, you know, kind of put some trust in what they're doing. Toriyama, ever since he's come back, has not really disappointed me yet. So I've got nothing but faith right now.
Nice. Now passing it over to you, Rob. What do you think of all of this mess? Your thoughts leading into something that we'll probably hear about tomorrow.
Oh man, well, you know, I'm just kind of taking it for what they're saying. A movie, an unexpected character could be on the high end, it could be on the low end. You know, like what was just talked about. It could be someone like Launch. It could very well just be Launch. I could if I had to take a shot in the dark, I would probably say either 21, Android 21, Toei and Mirror, or, and this is like very, very low percentage, or Cooler.
I was about to say, out of all the characters I want to come back, I want to see Cooler. I loved Cooler.
Like if I had to say like one more villain that could get flipped, I would definitely say Cooler over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I have like a whole thing about how they could potentially make cooler work.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we can definitely get into
Like,
that in the Q&A
yeah.
portion. Yeah, because I want to hear that. I
Yeah,
want to hear that.
yeah. So like that's the one where it's like I don't want to get my hopes up too much about it, and then because that's the one if I start giving that gas, I'll start getting hyped, and I'm like I ain't hear nothing that did it not happen. I'll just go oh,
Yeah.
But so that's the one I just kind of got on my. But like if that's the case, my hype is about to immediately jump up.
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, I'm willing to just take as much information as they gave me. I do hope, like I said before, I do hope they have more, and I hope this isn't everything. I hope they at least have like they usually give like a cool little teaser poster or something like
Yeah.
that, like something like that, because I would hate for it to just be these words and we done seen all these words already. Like
Right, because at
that
the
was
very
that
least, I
was kind of
remember
deflate
with
stuff.
Battle of the Gods. I don't know if this was when they officially announced it, but and Jamie, you can probably correct me if I'm wrong. But when Battle of the Gods was announced, either it was I don't believe it was the first like teaser poster that we saw of all the characters, but or it might have been that animation video where it was Goku on the cliff and it just made it look so dramatic with the different art style and everything. I remember that was one of the first things I saw of Battle of the Gods, and that was like circa 2012 when they were showing that stuff off. But they usually do like they'll do like a newspaper segment like spreadsheet or whatever, and they'll say new Dragon Ball project, and they'll have like the character design of the movie or something. I remember when the Broly movie was announced, I believe they had Goku's new design in that spreadsheet, and then they showed that little teaser I think a few months later of him just jumping around to show the animation.
Yeah.
Right, but was there anything else you guys wanted to add on to what you think might be happening with this new Dragon Ball movie?
I just hope it's
Um,
something brand new, something we've never seen before. That's what I
yeah.
really
Yeah.
want a Moro retelling, a granola adaptation.
Mm,
Something brand new would be great.
mm.
And here's another thing I
Well,
do want to add on to that, because I was actually
yeah.
catching up with one of my homies at the gym. That's another thing people are wondering, if they do decide to retell one of the arcs of the manga as a movie. Now, obviously, they would do shit different, but honestly, like whatever your feelings on the Dragon Ball Super manga aside,
Mm,
I don't really like the idea of adapting an entire arc into a 2-hour movie unless that arc is just like one of those small in-betweeners. Like, for example, the recently released Demon Slayer movie, Mugen Train, that adapted the Mugen Train arc in the manga, but the Mugen Train arc in the manga was a couple of chapters, so obviously you could spread that out into a 2-hour movie. But if you're doing something like the Moro arc or anything else, I don't know. I feel like you need more than 2 hours, you know? That's introducing characters and
I'm
all.
not 100% sure on that. There's like a ton of padding in there where if they cut that out, you could condense that. What story there is there pretty
But
quickly.
to be fair,
Oh,
like if they are going to retell that in the eventual anime when Super does come back, what would be the point of cutting it out for the movie and then adding it back in or expanding upon it
well,
when they do it, you
honestly,
know?
the Moro arc's one thing I just hope they skip altogether and that stays in the manga and just rots there.
Right.
Oh god, but but I don't think they're gonna be doing like the Moro arc or Granola or anything like that in this movie simply because one of the things that they specifically did say, is that it's featuring an unexpected character, and like I just don't think that featuring characters that have just appeared in the manga are gonna count as like an unexpected character because like realistically, if you're working under the assumption that that's the next part of the story, and then you're thinking, well, of course that's where it's going to go there, then those aren't really unexpected characters. So I don't know. It could happen. I just don't quite think it's that. I think this is going to be an original story and not like any kind of manga adaptation,
I would hope
or
so.
rather Toriyama's outline adaptation, I should say.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would like there to be something like new, like to just blow up on your map. Like when everybody found out that saying that they showed in that Broly teaser trailer was Broly, that was like wait, what?
Yeah.
Because yo, everybody was trying to wonder like, yo, who the hell is this? Is this swole dude and stuff like that? And it's like we didn't know that was Broly. That was a reimagined Broly. I mean that. that damn fake ass fan film is still up. The one where they gave him a name and called him the father of Saiyans or some shit like that. Where they completely took that design and made a character, and they was talking about this is the movie, and it got leaked. That's still up there. That dude did not. That aged like milk. That dude did not take it down. But uh, yeah. But to get back to more of the point, I just wanted to be like something new like that, just like something that's not on your radar, so to speak. So that's the most I can hope for.
All right, all right. And me, myself, and I mean, I'm pretty basic when it comes to these things. I don't like hyping myself up with theories and speculating on what could be. I just go into it expecting to get a solid movie, and if I get a solid movie that doesn't do crazy things in terms of, bastardizing characters, then I'm probably going to enjoy it. But yeah, that's all we really had to say as far as the new movie's concerned. Like I said, this movie isn't even announced yet, so we don't know anything about it. We're just speculating. Yeah, we know next to nothing, but we're speculating, and we're not getting too far into the speculations where we think that this is going to happen. But this is going to be the part of the podcast that we were actually going to end off the first segment, where it's a... What's up?
The Q&A.
Yeah, we're going into the Q&A, you guys. Now, this is a free-for-all Q&A where anyone, like in the comment section, feel free to ask questions, not just about what we talked about today, but just talking about things in Dragon Ball in general. Like, what do you guys think about like this thing happening? What do you guys think about this video game? If you have a question for a specific panel member, make sure you say hey, this question is for this person, or this question is for everybody. But there is one thing I did want to address, because it was something that we did receive a fair bit of comments about in the last podcast, but we didn't get a chance to speak on it because there was so much to discuss. So we're going to spend briefly our time on this. A lot of people were wondering why we have such a fixation with the character of Goku. Why, you guys know why we love him so much, but people were wondering why we didn't discuss some of his quote flaws, end quote. Were we just trying to avoid them because we love the character so much? So I'm just going to open this up to anyone. Feel free, you guys, Jamie, Rob, Daniel, whoever wants to go first. What do you guys think about us potentially glossing over Goku's character flaws?
I think we mentioned him. In fact, I'm positive we did. We've said, Goku's not a perfect dad. He did make mistakes. We said that Goku's not, this idealistic superhero type person. His purity of heart comes from the fact that he's very pure in his desire to want to face strong opponents, to want to make himself the best version of him he can be. But, he's not necessarily an ideal person. I don't think that's glossing over his flaws. I just think that we didn't spend a whole lot of time on those simply because what I really wanted to do was rather address certain flaws people thought that he had or think that he has.
There you
are simply not there. Like, Goku gets enough abuse as is. You go online, that Omni-Man scene dropped in Invincible, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you already had people memeing that as Goku with Teen Gohan when he said he didn't want to fight.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that came to their mind, too. And it's like, they even had Omni-Man and Goku, and I forget who the heck else it was. I forget. But it was in another recent series, but they actually put pictures of the three of them up next to each other and said, go ahead and vote. Who's the worst dad? And it's like...
was it Highlander from The Boys?
It wasn't Homelander, was it?
Well, I said Highlander. Highlander. Highlander.
So it's something like that. I don't remember, but it's like, bruh, he's not a, it's stuff like that. But yeah, Goku has flaws. Everybody has flaws.
Yeah.
I will be the first person to admit, Goku has made mistakes, and it's cost him. I mean, he, had an opportunity for Piccolo to kill Raditz without dying, and he gave it up because he was just way too naive and trusting.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. Goku's not a perfect being. But again, there are so many people who focus on nothing but why they think Goku is such a terrible character and a bad person and a terrible parent, and it's like, no, I'd rather spend my time kind of addressing that. I mean, everything. Nobody's saying he's perfect. It's just that he's not some monster.
Now, do you think, real quick before anyone else interjects with that, I'm going to add on to this as well. Do you guys think part of the reason, and I've noticed this a lot, especially with fandom discourse in the era of social media, a lot of people, if a character, just if they are popular, and I'm not saying that this is the reason why, so folks in the comment section, don't get it twisted, but one thing I've noticed is that if a character is popular, if it gets to a point where the character is just so well loved, there is a group of individuals out there who, no matter what, like it could be the actually factually, let's say the greatest character of all time, they're going to find some way to tear that character down because they're tired of people talking about it. In the case of Goku, oh, I'm tired of people saying Goku can beat everybody. Goku can't even raise his own kid. And I feel like that is a good amount of individuals, because if you notice this shit, nobody was having these dialogues and conversations back when Dragon Ball was hot. It's only when people started getting on social media and people started arguing about shit. Like, that's the only thing I noticed. I'm not saying, listen, if you have that opinion, you don't think Goku's the greatest dad, cool, that's fine. But to the point where it's like someone says, I love Goku, and the first thing you say is, well, Goku's a bad dad. He's terrible. It's just, bro, really? Really?
Yeah. That's just horse shit to me, man. It's like I have a term for people like that. And it's like, obviously it's different from someone that truly has a feeling like that and someone that's just being that guy. You know, we call those people the superior outcasts.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be that guy to where everybody in the world is going right. You want to be the one to go left just so you can say you can. It's like, I don't really... I could say so much about that, but I'm not.
I can say so much about that shit. Listen, I'm going to be honest. How many of y'all were chilling with your boys, talking about Dragon Ball, talking about the epic fights? Who the hell was even saying, yeah, but Goku's not a good dad, Vegeta's not a good dad? Who is even thinking about these things? Like,
exactly.
Who is thinking about, like, I've never, and maybe, Danny, you have in different circles, but I've never come across somebody when it comes to Spider-Man talking about how, oh, you know, Peter's parents, yeah, they weren't the best for him because they abandoned him because they were working and doing this. Like, you don't hear those things in other fandoms.
Look at Spider-Man and go, yeah, well, you know, Spider-Man can't pay his rent, though.
Yeah, like, yo, who look at, yo, bro, that's how y'all sound. Y'all sound goofy when you say that stuff. Like, who says that?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny that you mentioned Spider-Man because there is a certain parallel.
Oh, there's a reason I mentioned Spider-Man.
that I see dunking on Peter Parker specifically, and it's usually because, just like with Goku, I find it's because they're trying to find a way to put him down to prop up another character.
Someone
that they
else.
like. I noticed that a lot of people who fanboyed
honestly, that's the source of a
Yes.
lot of it. They won't admit it.
Yeah.
But
like people who fanboy over, well, sometimes even at least back in the day.
Oh, yeah, back in the day.
When they thought they had to pick sides, you know, people who wanted to put Miles over Peter, you know, they'd sit there talking about how Peter was this and that and Miles was this. Or even people who, weirdly enough, obsess over Venom.
Yeah.
They want to talk about how he's actually
unironically
or, you know, unironically claim he's a better superhero than Spider-Man. And it's like, Or the pinnacle though was Superior Spider-Man with
Doc
yeah.
Ock.
Yeah, Ock. Yeah. But I find that the people who do that the most with Goku are people who are trying to prop up either Piccolo.
Go ahead, say it.
In terms of propping up his relationship with Gohan.
Piccolo's Gohan's real dad.
And by and large, far and away, for the most part, Vegeta.
All right.
They cannot give Vegeta a W over Goku. They cannot do it.
Can I go off on my rant?
Try to find other ways.
Can I go off on my Vegeta rant?
Oh yeah. Go ahead and talk about the best dad Vegeta and how.
All right. Okay. I need to listen. I don't got any stake in this. I'm not out here saying Goku is the best dad or whatever. But all of y'all people coming in here hyping up Vegeta, y'all got first off, y'all. A lot of y'all ain't see your own kid in a few weeks, so I don't even want to talk about that. Second. Okay, Danny is gonna say this. He's gonna elaborate on it more professionally than I ever would. But how are you telling me that Vegeta, this guy, he's a better dad and a better husband than Goku? Do you guys know what Vegeta, his whole life is? What is Vegeta's whole life? Sum it up in one word, Rob.
I don't know. Shortness, bro.
This said shortness. That's the first thing that came to mind. Vegeta's life in a nutshell. Shortness. All right, I'm gonna go. Shortness
and anger, bro.
Jamie, sum up Vegeta's life in one word.
Oh, I think he had to step away for a sec.
Okay, Danny, sum up Vegeta's life
Danny,
in
you
one
take
word.
it.
There's one word. That's it. That's all you need.
Jealousy.
Yes, jealousy, pride. Somebody said forehead. Oh my god. Yo, oh my god. But yeah, I'm telling you, this is the Q&A section. We are off the rails now, you guys. But listen, Vegeta, his pride supersedes everything. Like everyone out here say, oh, Vegeta, just because he was in the picture versus Goku, who is out staying dead or training, that makes him a better dad. Anybody who has had an abusive parent, if you live in an abusive household, just because the parent is there, that doesn't mean the parent is there. What did Vegeta do this whole time? Sit around, sulk, train to be Goku. That's what he did. Oh, but he raised Trunks. No. He raised Trunks to fight. He didn't show this man Trunks any type of love. And we're not even talking about whether it's future Trunks or whether it's like the Trunks he actually birthed in this timeline, right? Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. He literally was just there. When it came down to fighting Cell, like I said, this dude was like, no, Trunks, don't you dare get in my way. But, yo, yeah, he's the better dad. He's the better dad in that case.
He beat his ass a couple times.
Yeah, but everybody looks at... All right, listen, I'm going to go off my rant, then you guys can go on, all right? Yeah. But everybody looks at Goku like, oh, well, Goku gave Cell the sensu bean and he put his son up to that stuff. Like, do people just forget this shit with Vegeta? Like, I don't understand this shit. And then you go into the boot. Like, Vegeta takes constant L after L. He's caused so much harm and damage to people, killed innocent civilians. He's a better husband, though. How? Half the time Bulma sees Vegeta on screen, she's screaming at him for something that he's done. Like, people talk about, oh, but this is who he is. This is character. That's like the Saiyan blood and the DNA. But Goku's the bad dad because he elected to stay dead because maybe, you know what? All these guys are actually coming after me, and that's why the world is in danger. Maybe. That's what it is. But Vegeta is over here. People say, yeah, but that's a great dad. Would any of you guys want to have Vegeta as your father? Outside the fact that this nigga can do Gallic guns and his hair can turn blonde. Would any of y'all want to have Vegeta as your father? Oh, no, even better. This is my last point, then I'm going to go on mute. Would any of y'all...
I wouldn't just because I don't want that hairline in my genetics. But...
Oh, shit. Forehead and hairline. Would any of y'all parent exactly the same way as Vegeta? Exactly the same way. If any of y'all say no, you cannot come here and say that Vegeta is a better dad than Goku. I ain't trying to hear it.
And if you say yeah, you're fucking lying.
That's all I'm saying. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, you're fucking lying.
All right, I'm gonna pass it. Either of you guys, I'm gonna go off mute. I got ranted. Hold on. I'm on mute.
Well, the thing about Vegeta and his parenting skills, it can be summed up in one word: non-existent. Like Vegeta, honestly, he never was there for that kid. Period. It's crazy. He was Vegeta for all intents and purposes for Trunks was a sperm donor. That's it. That's what I mean. This is what I mean. I see so many people too try to amp up Bulma and Vegeta's relationship, talk about how it was this romantic thing, it was this secret romance, it was this forbidden love that blossomed in the moonlight of the gardens of Capsule Corp. And it's like, nah, she got drunk, she banged him, she got knocked up, he took off. It's literally that simple.
Oh, does Vegeta pay rent, you guys? At least Goku was out there on the fucking fire. I'm sorry.
Go out there and get some big ass fish and drag it back to.
I'm sorry. I told yourself I was on mute, but go ahead, Danny. I'm sorry, bro.
That's another thing that's in Super too. Bulma even sits there complaining about how Vegeta, he's always running off training and leaving her alone, and he's he like when he went off to train with Whis, he'd been gone for like almost a year and hadn't so much as contacted them, and she was getting tired of it, and it's like, and he doesn't even pay rent or bring in money or anything else. It's like, oh my god. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, and that might not be 100% what she said, but it was basically the exact same thing that people harp on Goku for, and people point to Chi-Chi harping on Goku for, and it's like Bulma's saying this about Vegeta too, and it's like, Vegeta's going to get that pass, though, and Vegeta's going to get that pass, but Goku, they're going to clip that and upload it on Twitter every single time someone brings up that they like Goku. That's the other thing I can't stand. Oh, who's your favorite character, Goku? Oh, why do you like such a bad dad? Yeah. Why do you like somebody who can't? It's like, oh my god, just shut up for 2 seconds.
Chris, Chris, to counter your rant on Vegeta, I'm going to rant on you for just a second.
All right, let's go. Listen, I ain't got no kids that I'm abandoning. Thank you very much.
We've been, hold on. I just realized something. We've been here this entire time, and I only just realized that you titled this stream the GT edition. Now, what the hell?
Wait, you guys are just realizing that now?
Now you got some explaining to do.
Wait. I could have. Wow. All right. First off, all right, guys. I put this panel up about 3 hours ago. This podcast went up 3 hours ago. I put it as the title. We're talking about the movie. It's the Great Dragon Ball podcast, and I did GT edition because this is the sequel. Like, I thought that was just common sense. What you got to grill me on for that, Jamie? What?
Why not the Super edition?
What? No, it doesn't roll off the tongue like GT. Nah, GT, that's the one thing GT did right. Everybody knows it was the sequel series. Like, yeah, Super is a sequel series, but people know GT as the sequel series.
Well, technically, the first one was called the Great Dragon Ball Discussion, so you could have called this the Z edition.
Jamie, this is
that's tied to a horrible DVD.
Exactly, the Z edition. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, is there something you want to tell us about what you've been working on behind the scenes? Are you doing a video essay on how much you secretly love Dragon Ball Evolution? Is that what this is all about? Are you trying to? Yeah, I knew something. I knew something was up with this guy.
You know, Dragon Ball Evolution might be secretly the greatest film ever made. It could be.
And let me guess. Fuller and his performance is just up there with Citizen Kane. That's just how it is, right? He was actually the real villain.
I think Fuller is the best Krillin adaptation today. I think.
Oh my god. Okay.
Hey, Danny, you can't say anything against that because if you say anything against that. You got a problem with black people?
Texas, and you and I are gonna have words. Face to face. I swear to God.
Bro, in Texas, you don't have words in Texas, man. You just whoever shoots first. That's how it is. Bang. But yeah, Fuller, we don't stand Fuller over here. Maybe Jamie does because I heard he bought like 3 different copies of that movie.
But on a more serious note about the whole Vegeta thing, though, like, I do not understand why people try to put him up as a great dad, because he did not raise that kid. He did not even hold him when he was an infant, not once. Took no interest in the kid, not even training the kid. Like, he basically threw the kid off on his own, and when he tried to come in the gravity room with him, it's like, this is a man's training. You should probably go away and, go.
I was going to ask. I was like, was he offering trips to the park before he found out Trunks was becoming Super Saiyan?
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing. He didn't care about Trunks until he saw an opportunity to basically turn his son into a demeasuring stick versus Goku's son. When he found out that Trunks could fight Goten in that tournament, then he started training him. Then he started taking an interest in him. When he learned that he could go Super Saiyan, then he took an interest in him. It's just, and even then, it's like, okay, I'm going to teach you. If you can punch me, I'll take you to the park. And what happens when he does? He nicks him, just nicks his cheek, and he just, bam, busts that kid's face right in. For doing exactly what he told him to try to do.
Oh, so Vegeta's kind of like that. What can you do for me, parent? Oh God.
But and I love it too, because Vegeta's sitting there acting like, he scored this big victory over Goku when Trunks beats Goten, and what's Goku's reaction when he sees Goten lose?
I don't remember, to be honest, but I assume it's heartwarming.
That's because it's nothing memorable. It's just, shucks, oh well. It's like, he's not gonna treat the kid like he's not his, or like he's some kind of disappointment just because he lost one match. That's it. It's a little bit disappointing, but it's like, it's not. And yet they insist that Goku did not show any interest in Gohan unless he was a serious fighter.
That is bullshit.
But with Goten, it's like, oh shucks, I'm sorry you didn't win, buddy. It's like,
it's not that deep, bro. That's literally Vegeta. It's like, Vegeta, it's not that deep.
Exactly.
And it's like, but that's the whole thing. Like, even his interest in his son was only rooted in his obsession with Goku. And that is also why I say Vegeta could never actually work as a protagonist of Dragon Ball, because everything that he has ever been and ever done since his villain stint has been rooted in jealousy and chasing after Goku.
Yep.
Without Goku, Vegeta would just be an angry little imp running around with no purpose. In fact, that was his character arc. After Goku died, he straight up said, you know, I can't measure myself
never
against you
fighting
anymore.
again.
I can never fight you. I'm never fighting again.
Bro.
But that's also why when Goku came back, he became so absolutely obsessed with fighting him again to the point that he was willing to murder innocent people to go Goku into fighting again. But he's definitely the better character. He's definitely the more responsible person, right?
Oh, see, look at that. Murdering the innocent people, but Vegeta's the better dad. Vegeta's the better dad. Listen,
and Goku, you know, and I'm sick of people pointing to Goku making Gohan fight Cell. I mean, that was literally their only chance to beat him. The only way you can think, the only people I have met that could think otherwise in any kind of sane, rational way are the people who are weirdly convinced that Goku was strong enough to kill Cell and just didn't for some reason.
Yeah.
Nah. Even Goku knew that shit, man. Nah, people secretly think he had that Super Saiyan 3 transformation this whole time, but Rob, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I wish they could have like rearrange the wording a little bit, because I think some people just flat out fully didn't understand. And I might be wrong myself, but this is just kind of how I took it. Was that I always took it as that Goku just flat out thought that Gohan was kind of like him when it came to fighting. That Gohan could just go into that power when he gets pushed enough, and it was just like I always took it as a mistake he thought he made. He thought Gohan was like him because he enjoys fighting so much. He probably figured he might enjoy it as well because he's strong.
You know, the moment I think that it really hammers that home is when Gohan finally let go and he transformed into Super Saiyan 2. And I will never forget this shit. I remember the first time I saw that on TV. And then it showed everybody's reaction. It showed Cell's, and then you see Goku on the ground because, you know, he got beat up by the Cell Juniors, and just the sheer look of horror on his face. It wasn't like a look of like, wow, oh my God, this is awesome. It was like, what have I fucking done? Like, that was the whole point of the situation, man.
Well, not quite. That was actually more the look on Vegeta's face. Goku was satisfied that it... Goku was satisfied to happen, bro.
No, but he had a look of like, what is this? Like, what is going on? I still remember the frame, bro.
He got that look after he told Gohan to finish off Cell, and Gohan turned on to him and said, "No, he hasn't suffered."
No. I'm talking about the one right. No. There was another look. Like right when Gohan transformed the first time. Like the first time, like not like when they like on the next episode. It was like how they ended off the episode, and then you see Cell's face, and then you see Goku on the ground. He's just like, what is this? What is going on?
Well, I'm gonna be perfectly blunt though. Gohan's transformation is one area where I like vastly preferred the manga version of what happened.
Oh, okay.
Just because, I mean, I get that people have attachment to the anime version and their first time seeing it and everything else, but when I read that in the manga for the first time, like the insert song that plays during that scene when he transforms, that is like one of the first times I genuinely thought, holy crap, that is some of the most unfitting music. And the reason I say that is because the show like plays that up, right, as this heroic moment and everything. If you read it in the manga, they straight up like play that as a moment of horror.
Yeah.
Like when he snaps, the look on Vegeta's face, the look on Piccolo's face, and everything else, and then when he starts actually going into the Cell Juniors, like tearing them up.
Yeah, it was
just
kind of like
brutal.
It's gonna be a bad example, but kind of like Carrie.
Oh yeah.
Dropped the pig's blood on her, and then she fucking snapped it.
Yeah, even Vegeta's jaw hit the floor, and he was like scared by what he was seeing. He could not believe that Gohan, little Gohan, kind-hearted Gohan, had become that much of a, well, frankly, a monster.
Yeah.
But in the manga, Goku was like always, you know, yeah, Goku in the manga, he's grinning because he knows that, you know, that's it, Cell's done. Now, what he didn't expect though was Gohan like doing, like I said, you know, refusing to end him because I want him to suffer more, and that is where it kind of started spooking him. But like even before that, he knew that that Gohan was going to be the one to finally make Cell experience fear. like genuine terror, and but again, I don't think he expected that like cruel streak.
In my case, I remember I'm just so attached to that scene. Like I read the manga years ago, but I still that shit, bro. Like just that transformation and how it ended off the episode with the frame of Gohan, like his tears fading away, and he just has this look like I'm about to fuck all you niggas up. Like right there, that was like woo.
Well, yeah, the look and the animation and everything there was great. It's just the
Yo.
music.
Yeah,
I gotta say real quick, it's the one moment that I always laugh at. It's that first Cell Junior. He don't realize what's coming. When Gohan just dashes in front of him, it's that moment where the Cell Junior is looking up at him and Gohan, his eyes are kind of big. He looking like, yo, I'm about to end this man's career right now.
Straight up, yo.
That first Cell Junior catch, this is like the look Gohan gives him, like, go ahead and breathe so I can get you. just breathe so I can end it, bro.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps just remembering that shit, bro.
Yeah, it's always that first one because he gives him that look before he whacks his head clean off, bro. It's just like,
and the other two look, and he's like about to fuck both of y'all up, like
man, bro. Such fond memories. But I also want to say real quick, I love the fact that you can take that moment. And depending on what avenue you're watching it, you can get like a completely different vibe.
True.
Like any dubbed version of it, it's supposed to be like this heroic, like Hulk out moment and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could almost say like the original Japanese version is supposed to be like a thing of sorrow.
Yeah.
And then like in the manga, it's supposed to be like horror, like Danny just said.
It's actually really interesting. I remember way back when Kai was airing that, I think around the time of the final arc of the the first run of Kai, not the final chapters, there was the Yamamoto music controversy. And I remember they had to swap out the music either around the time that episode was airing and they went back to the older score of Z. But I remember around that time, people were like, well, let's just go ahead and splice in some other music tracks and see how it would sound with the dialogue and everything. And I remember, Danny, I'm not sure you remember this, bro, but you spliced in one of the tracks.
Both did that.
Yeah. One of those tracks.
I cannot find that file, and it breaks my heart because Jamie can't either, and neither of us, like, it's just lost.
Dude, do not worry. Do not worry. I have that file saved. I've had it saved for the past 10 years.
That is like my proudest creation right there.
Somebody got to send it to me.
Definitely. I have it on my old computer. I'm just going to go upload it to...
What file?
You remember...
you remember when they had to take out the Yamamoto music and they put in the original score back in Kai, and we took like one of the audio files, a different song from the soundtrack, and like spliced it in because we thought it was actually more fitting.
Oh yeah, that was long ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Apparently, Chris still has that.
I still have it. I listen to it obviously I haven't now since that computer's retired, but I used to listen to that all the time because I loved the way the music swells up and then it ends off. It's just, oh God, memories right there. But real quick, because Jamie, I know you had to step out and take care of some business. I want to pass the baton over to you when talking about, what do you think about how, like, some people were just wondering why we weren't that critical, or I should say, we weren't, like, the first thing we talked about of Goku wasn't critical stuff. We were talking about the positive aspects. What do you think about just this whole weird fixation on hating Goku? Goku is a bad dad, and just all the usual nonsense you hear when it comes to that.
I do have something to say about this as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course, Rob. We'll double back to you. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's absolutely. I mean, it's just, come on. It's people who love to take Dragon Ball memes like to heart, and it's these same people which I love Team 4-Star too. I'm not dogging them or anything, but it's the people who like to watch Team 4-Star, and they're the same people who make the claims and statements that say, Team 4-Star is a better Dragon Ball dub than anything Funimation has put out, or it's a better version of Dragon Ball than Dragon Ball itself. And that it's these people that worship that web series so much that they love the memes, they love the jabs at Krillin. It's why Yamcha and Krillin have such a high level of disrespect in the fandom. It's it's why Goku is seen as a bad father. It's just these memes and these jokes that are just continue to be spread around the internet to the point where people who aren't hardcore Dragon Ball fans, just casual Dragon Ball fans, they take those to heart, because they're just casual viewers, they're nothing, they're not going to take anything, but they're going to take all that stuff. So I think it's just people need to lay down a little bit when it comes to these memes and things. But go ahead, Robert.
All right. I definitely agree with that standpoint. I just want to say real quick. I think some people don't know when to let the parody go. Like, I don't see nobody saying I can't listen to Gangsta's Paradise no more because of Weird Al Yankovic. Like, some people these people, they just don't know when to let the parody go. But I just want to kind of take that and just kind of blow that up even more to where there is, I mean, by default, there's this whole like main character hate, and sometimes it's justified, and sometimes it's kind of silly. Well, not even kind of silly. Sometimes it's flat out stupid. uh, the whole thing with Goku is, and it's usually about 80-90% of the time, Goku gets this relentless bashing to build up another character, which usually ends up being Vegeta. I mean, that's just the name of the game. I have another rant about that I'll plan to circle back to, but I want to speak more so about, this whole thing of the whole main character bashing. Like, there's people out there that say, Shadow the Hedgehog should get another game. There's people out there that says, why doesn't Luigi get his own adventure game? Like, why is it always Mario? It's like that kind of always tends to be a thing. It's always like when you bond to the secondary character, there's one thing that you can become a fan of that character and understand their contribution and understand their placing, so to speak. And then there's a whole nother thing of you like a character so much did you scream from the mountains that they need to be the character now. Like how many people were like fans of Robin? Batman and Robin, fans of Robin. Some people dressed up as Robin specifically. You like Robin, sure, he's the sidekick and stuff. I don't see people going, yeah, but Robin needs an animated series. Like that's just kind of that whole different. And I could take that with almost any series, and I could find you. There's the main character, and then there's that character that this coalition of people all want to be the character. You can apply that to almost any damn series, and I just think it's not fair. I think it's not fair specifically when it's with Goku. I'll just go ahead and bring this to the whole overall thing with Vegeta. Is I think it's not fair for Goku because I think Dragon Ball, in essence, is still following the format is kind of always laid out. The format in genuinely was you had Goku. He would meet someone, he would learn something from this person and it would go towards his overall character, and that person would end up hanging around, and that kind of was the thing until you met the next character that was probably a villain first, and Goku probably fought them. He either beat them or he almost lost, or he would lose and fight them again, but it would always come towards them would eventually being an ally, and Goku would end up learning something from them, or something about them would be added to his overall character. When it comes to Vegeta, I just kind of didn't like how, just in general, that there are some people that wouldn't let Vegeta be that. Like, Goku did learn from Vegeta to embrace his Saiyan side more. yeah, to go ahead and give in a little bit into his pride. I mean, having a little pride isn't terrible. You know, you don't want to be like, you shouldn't let people walk over you. You should stand up for what you believe you're worth. Sure and all that, but I just kind of didn't like how it started to get to the point where they wouldn't let Vegeta be that, because usually when a character has their moment, that has their contribution such to that standpoint, they either die or they just become a part of the roster. Vegeta not only eventually became part of the roster, even though he was dead, and I'll go ahead, I'll have the horrible hot takes on people like, I would probably say Vegeta probably should have stayed dead at some point. But, you know, Dragon Ball became what it did. Dragon Ball Z became what it did. So he stuck around, sure. But now it's just a thing of, there's this thing of not letting him just be the supporting character. It's like yeah, I mean, I could see the frustration from the fans of him not getting the W over a main villain. But if he didn't get the W over the main villain, he's definitely beating the shit out of somebody this arc though. So at least he has W. It might not be the main W, but he has some, or he has a good fight or a good showcase or a good flashy animation scene. Vegeta gets a lot more than any of the other characters do. You know, and I just think my problem just always kind of became with that was just there was always the want for more, but it's like you gotta understand at the end of the day, Vegeta is a supporting character. He's not a co-main character. He's a supporting character, and
Mm.
there's
Rob, I'm sorry. I hate to cut you off. We just got news. We just got confirmation that the Dragon Ball official site is now live.
great, great,
Breaking news. Breaking news.
great.
I'm posting I just posted the link in the chat for the site. I'm using the app currently now. Nothing talking about the movie yet, anyways. But it literally just went back up as much as 7 minutes ago.
Put in the chat. Which chat?
The chat, like the YouTube chat. Your
YouTube
group
chat.
YouTube chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see this.
So far, it's just talking about how it's May 9th. It's Goku Day. A lot of the articles.
Wait, I don't see it. Where'd you put it, bro?
In the chat.
In the Hangouts chat?
In the YouTube
said
chat.
YouTube.
Everybody was commenting and
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it on my end unless my shit is tweaking. Do you see it, Rob?
I can't go to it because I don't want the call to lag.
Oh, okay. So what is it? Just like DragonBall.com? Maybe. Yeah.
I just put it in the Facebook group chat. Hold on.
Okay, that's easier. All right.
But yeah, so they just announced today the Super Saiyan 4 Goku SH figure arts. This one says Happy King Piccolo Commemoration Day. Vote to decide the best Great Demon King Piccolo scene.
Okay.
Ongoing hit series in V-Jump. Check out the synopsis of Dragon Ball Super's newest chapter of Granola arc. So nothing about. I mean, there's a new Dragon Ball Fighters Dojo thing they're advertising, brand new.
Okay.
But nothing about the film.
Was it like a stage?
The dojo thing.
Yeah.
Let me see. It seems to be some kind of video. It says, "Who will be the universe's strongest duo? 2 pairs of master and student will train to vie for supremacy in Dragon Ball Fighters and the new series Dragon Ball Fighters Dojo." So it looks kind of like 2 people are going to be going up against each other in Dragon Ball Fighters and see who wins.
Here's something. Someone in the comment section was alluding to this the second we started the podcast, but they did announce a brand new Super Saiyan 4 Goku SH figure arts.
Well, I mean, I figured that. It is, like I said, the 25th anniversary, so I'm sure they'd announce that.
Yeah.
They also announced that there's another figure that apparently is going to be premiering first, or appearing early, rather, in Crane Games.
Oh, hell no.
Over there in Japan. Skill Crane.
Like all the shit that we can't get. Like
oh, dude! If you look at the link that says ongoing hit series in V-Jump, check out the synopsis of Dragon Ball Super's new chapter, Granola the Survivor. We actually get the character design sheet of the Heaters group. I don't think we've seen this granola one before.
Yeah, Heaters group. Yeah, the big guy.
The one with the heaters here. I don't think we've seen this one before. So this is cool.
Okay.
Okay. One thing that I would like to say though is that we did kind of say we were taking questions and then kind of stepped on everyone.
Yeah, we went. All right, so now we're going straight. We're going straight into the questions portion right now. So yeah, comment section. People who are still watching, any questions y'all have, feel free to ask the chat.
I saw one person comment earlier that I thought would be a fun question. They asked who was our favorite Dragon Ball animator.
Oh, you see, well, I'm not too. I mean, I'm still getting into like the production side of things when it comes to watching anime, so I'm not the best person to ask about this stuff.
Me neither. I'm
but
not too familiar on
honestly, like what as cliche as this sounds, you guys, as cliche as it sounds, whatever shit like when you just look at that, you're like, that's fucking Dragon Ball. That shit is what I'm talking about. That's what it is for me. So like whoever animated the best looking shit in Super, the people who did that good shit on the Broly movie, like those are the top people for me. I'm just gonna be honest.
Jiren Rob's favorite would probably be Naoto Shishida. He's the one who animated the "You Will Not Destroy My World" scene.
He's pretty good. Who did the stuff in Super? Who did Ultra Instinct transformation and who did Goku riding the wave with the Kamehameha?
Goku riding the wave with the Kamehameha.
With
Kefla's Blast.
Yeah.
The Kefla scene, I believe, was it wasn't Takahashi, and it wasn't I think that might have been wasn't Tate. Who was that? Hold on.
All right. But anyway, those type of people I love. And also one thing I love about, like, if we're talking like old school Dragon Ball Z, the anime and the animation, like there was some shit that you would see like in the Cell Saga that just looked so beautiful and detailed. And I'd be watching. I remember when I was watching the Kai Blu-rays, I was like, damn, this shit is crispy. Like I don't know who animated them shits, but that's what it is for me anyway.
Something else that looked consistently good the whole fight was the Goku and Majin Vegeta fight. Like that.
Oh yeah, that shit looked nice. I mean, there was like one episode that looked funky, but that shit looked nice overall. I love the way Majin Vegeta looked during that arc. You see, people, we can say good stuff about Vegeta.
If I had to pick a favorite animator, honestly, it probably would be Shintani and what he did in the Broly movie. I think that is like the closest we have gotten to like really bringing Toriyama's like classic Dragon Ball art style to life in a long time. And seeing that again was just great.
Sometimes the simple approach is the best approach. Like when they started getting like over designing the characters, making them look like their fucking Michael Bay movie, like that's when I kind of tuned out.
To me, things just started getting over the top when you had like 9-year-olds that had biceps that were so chiseled that they looked like they've been lifting for. Which is weird because they started doing that in the anime, but if you looked at like the Buu arc, which is where that really started happening in the anime, if you look at that in the manga, it's like the opposite. That Goten and Trunks had like they had some definition, but they were almost like noodle arms for the most part. And it's like then in the anime they're super buff and it's
jacked.
That's now granted they were jacked when they fused into Gotenks, but that's a bit different.
Yeah.
Something else that looked really good was that complete final round between Goku and Jiren and Super.
Oh yeah, that was quality.
So I'm doing more research on this Dragon Ball official site, and what there's a trailer they released, a preview video for the site. What I think is very interesting is you see the logo, the new logo that was designed for the Dragon Ball official site. It says here, new official site logo design overseen by Akira Toriyama. So it's not even saying that Toriyama designed the logo. It's just that he oversaw the design.
Well, basically, it just means he personally approved of it.
Yeah, I think that's what it means.
But yeah, trying to find a good question in here.
Okay, so real quick, because Randy bunch of numbers, he's been asking this for a while. What do you guys think if Garlic Jr. was the main villain for the new movie? I don't. No, let's. Nothing against Garlic Jr. because I actually like Garlic Jr. But if you're gonna bring back a villain, you got to go cooler. gotta go cooler, man.
Seriously.
Like, ain't no one gonna be like, yeah, new Dragon Ball movie, Garlic Jr. Oh God.
Look, the only way I would accept that, well, number one, you gotta try to explain the power scale.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Threat. But like the only way I would be even open to that if they went like full like horror.
Oh.
Like it was a horror Dragon Ball movie or something like that.
Maybe like something infects their mind and he's really messing with like imagine like that scene in Avengers Age of Ultron where Scarlet Witch is in everybody's brain, but that's like Garlic Jr. in everybody's brain. That would be interesting.
Like to go something that way, like it can't just be him just being the villain. Like he has to bring like this whole horror aspect to it.
Yeah. Hey, that could be a complete like not even a 180 for Dragon Ball, but it'd be something different at a left turn, you know, where the villain is not just someone you got to power up to kill with using like brute force and battle strategy. It's more cerebral. Like that could be interesting. Let's see. Okay, any other questions, you guys? Keep asking some questions. If not, we're just probably gonna wrap it up for the night.
I honestly did not, or I would like to say, though, I wouldn't necessarily mind Garlic Jr. as a villain per se in the new movie. It would be more a case of how would you make him work? Because, like, how would you'd almost have to completely rewrite and introduce him, and at that point, is he even still Garlic Jr.? And how would you make him relevant to everything going on? Because if he's supposed to be someone trying to get revenge on, like, you know, whoever, then I don't know. It's just I like it in that I have nostalgia for the character. He was interesting the way he was used back in the day. I just don't know if there's any way to really do that now. Whereas with someone like Cooler, I think they could. You don't even need Cooler, frankly, to be Frieza's brother. You could just make him one of the Frieza race people from Universe 6 even. Some warlord over there.
Okay. Okay, so this is not related to the Q&A section, but when we were talking about Vegeta's parenting, this person asked, is Sasuke a better or worse father than Vegeta? And if you had to pick one, which one would you pick? Honestly, I'm going to go with Vegeta as my dad. To be honest, like as messed up as all the shit that we've said, listen, at least it's better than having Sakura for a mom and then Sasuke just fucking... There's no... Like, yeah, you can say what you want. Like, yeah, Vegeta knocked Bulma up, yada, yada, yada. But at least that she likes him for whatever reason. That Sakura-Sasuke relationship, I have no good idea what she sees in him. He's tried to kill her repeatedly. And yeah, Vegeta, he's threatened to kill Bulma inadvertently because of the human race and yada yada yada, but nah, like that's just an awkward ass fucking relationship, Sasuke and Sakura. I don't so I would say Vegeta.
You got Vegeta as a dad, you're guaranteed superpowers. You got Sasuke as a dad, you're guaranteed daddy issues. And mental instability and all kinds of other fun things.
And let's be honest, dating Sakura gave birth to the first Uchiha with fucking glasses. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, damn. And I know there's gonna be a Naruto stain in the comments saying, well, actually, there's Sasuke's distant uncle who had glasses in that one scene of the manga.
Here I have the Uchiha family tree.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm scrolling back. Let's see. Okay, this is all talking about the movie and everything.
Okay, I see some questions being tossed in here that are not Dragon Ball related.
Yeah, I can't scroll all the way back up. It stops me all the way. So yeah, I mean, we got some.
I got one for y'all.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, like, what's probably your favorite Dragon Ball technique? Or form of travel or transformation, whatever.
Okay, so my favorite. I mean, I don't want to say the Kamehameha wave because it's duh. Like, of course, it's awesome. But if I had to pick one, honestly, like one of my favorite moves in all of Dragon Ball is Big Bang Kamehameha. I love that shit, and that specifically. What?
So go to the Dragon Ball Super website.
Okay.
Go
to the search bar. Go to the search bar and just type in 2022.
Go to what?
Go to the search bar that's there on the Dragon Ball official site, top right.
Huge announcement! Oh shit!
But look, if you click it,
It's
the article won't
404.
load.
Yeah. Did
But
you?
look, we have the headline.
Yup.
So it's official.
It's happening.
So
Wait, what's going on now?
So literally any moment now.
Okay, what am I looking for here?
So just type in 2022 in the search bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there it is.
It's right there.
Yeah, 403 forbidden, 404 not found. Oh my gosh. Okay,
It's
I gotta
happening.
admit that I love the image that they chose for their 404.
Which is it?
Gohan hiding from Vegeta with a Dragon Ball. 404 not found.
Oh, snap. But yeah, so I would say Big Bang Kamehameha. I just love it because of Budokai 3 and just everything that led up to Gogeta's attack. You know, like he goes and he dashes up against the enemy and they're like, he's like, I'm behind you. I'm here. And then they're just like punching and kicking him and he's just taking all that shit. And then he just smirks. He's like, and then he just like backhands him, like elbow that shit. And then he's like, let's see you survive this one. And then what killed me is just the delivery. He was like, Big Bang, pause, Kamehameha. Like, oh, that shit was, woo, still got me hyped. I'm almost 30. That still shit got me hyped.
Hell yeah.
Hmm. Oh gosh.
But go ahead. What about you, Danny?
Oh man. You know, I mean, I love the Kamehameha. I love how like simple that is, but how powerful that is, how versatile it is. But I do also like whatever the heck happened with Krillin in the Forest of Terror there, although they never gave that a name. So I can't
the Iron
really.
Fist form we call it.
Oh god! Oh, yeah, that was straight up Iron Fist. He even punched a dragon. Like, come on. But no, I think honestly one of my favorite techniques in that entire series is simply enough, I do like the Kienzan.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple, but also like just the foresight that you would need to take a look at your situation and say, okay, I have to face enemies that I know are going to be stronger than me. I know I'm not going to be able to solo. You know, what can I do to actually do something that would allow me to maim or potentially even kill them if I can't make up the strength difference? That won't also kill me. I mean, Tien had his tri-beam, but that, like, you know, takes away from his life energy to make it strong enough to, you know, do anything to a stronger opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like just being, you know, and then even then that move too became very versatile. There are variations on that where you can, you know, steer it, where you can chain it, where you can like just. There's actually a lot you can do with what started as such a simple move throughout the entire franchise, and I love it because it's also.
I got a question about that, Danny.
lethal.
Did he ever it's been a while and I'm not too well versed with what he did outside of throwing it and then directing it, but did he ever like expand it? Like he throws it and there's like two enemies and he expands it and it slices them?
Expanding it, no, but
Okay.
he has thrown one and then it's split into several.
One big one.
Okay, there we go. That's probably what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, he did that to Frieza. Had him ducking and jumping all over.
Nice. All right. Rob, what about you, bro?
Oh man, you see, if it wasn't for what Danny had just pointed out, the taxing it has, I was gonna say the tri-beam. Like, there's some swag about that move. I like visually, I like it, and because the voice actor never holds back when he does. It doesn't matter if it's a game, a new dubbing and shit. You want tri-beam, you about to get the whole fucking screen.
Yup.
That's kind of tied into it. Even when I'm playing Kakarot and call for the assist and shit, it's cool. But if I was going from the standpoint, if I had to use it, would pull from your life force. So yeah, but negating that one, I would definitely say the Kaioken though.
Yeah.
Kaioken is just a cool looking move. it might have very well been the first technique I've seen on Dragon Ball Z, because I think when I look all the way back, when I caught it that very first time on those Saturday mornings, I think it was when Goku was using the Kaioken, because I had always liked the red aura. It's a
Mhm.
cool looking thing. I love the idea that it basically forces your body to go as hard as you need to. I mean, you're gonna pay for it afterwards, but
Yeah.
it just seemed like a cool ass move. And funny enough, I like this one small thing I want to add real quick. Did you guys ever notice in the Xenoverse how many other characters got the Kaioken? They just kind of did it as a what if thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
they gave Krillin, I think Yamcha, and Tien the Kaioken.
You know what that reminded me of, Rob? And you already
What's
know
up?
where I'm going with this shit because we in sync, bro. Ultimate Ninja 3.
Yeah. Oh, bruh.
Straight
We can
up.
we can have a conversation about that.
We're going to do a whole
But
podcast on that damn game because that game is goated.
yo, great, man. So it was cool. I remember when I was first playing Xenoverse and I would get like Krillin actually hear his voice yell out, Kaioken. Like that was cool, man. So, like,
Yep.
it's a cool looking move. Yeah.
Nice. Jamie, what
Uh,
about you, bro?
For what? I'm sorry.
He's over here just constantly refreshing the
Man, this
page.
man, he on the prowl. He trying to find his news.
I feel it. I respect it, man. So Jamie, if you had to pick one move from Dragon Ball, it could be a special attack, it could be something like the Kaioken. What would be yours?
What would be my? Oh, instant transmission. Are you kidding me?
He's the only
Hey.
practical one out of all of us, to be honest.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Shit, I'm gonna be everywhere.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would never have to pay. Like, I would save so much money. I would never have to, buy a plane ticket again. I would never have to, just lock onto somebody's energy, and there I go.
True. Okay, so we have a lot of questions coming in here, real quick. So I'm just gonna rapid fire some of them. Okay, so Black and Fisk asks, "What do you think of a mini series that shows how the Ginyu Force met? How Mr. Satan became world champion, Gohan being Great Saiyaman, and Krillin being a cop?"
I knew he was gonna ask.
Oh,
that.
I love that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Honestly, if they did like a nice like short anime series where like a different batch of episodes they tackle different things, I would love that, because Dragon Balls is one of those things where you can afford to expand the world and talk about these things, the things that we already know about, but maybe not necessarily how it happened. And I think you can create a lot of, in the case of the Ginyu Force, you can have a lot of fun with that. In the case of like Krillin being a cop, it's like a nice wholesome slice of life, and I love that stuff. Like for me, one thing I love, and I know Danny, you're gonna agree on this shit too, is like we love these characters. We love these characters saving the world. We love them doing these crazy attacks. But what we also love is just these characters living their lives. And there's just something so beautiful about Krillin just going in, doing an honest day's work, and then you see at his station, he's got a photo of him, his wife, his daughter. Like that to me resonates just as much as Krillin not backing down from a fight, because that's beautiful. That's something to aspire towards and for us to look up. That's how I look at it anyway. What about you guys?
Oh, I mean, look, I'm just gonna say it. Krillin's the best husband and father in the series. Bar none.
Absolutely. That's not even up
Um,
for a contention. Yeah.
But yeah, I like seeing, like, especially since, like, this is true in like superhero stuff too. Like when I'm reading Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, and everything else, I actually like some of the issues in arcs where it focuses more on, like, Peter Parker and Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne, and because these are such larger than life figures, right?
Mhm.
That I like seeing them trying to fit into the world around them. And especially with like Dragon Ball characters, like these are people who, even the weaker ones among them, could just go out there and destroy an entire planet without breaking a sweat. And yet here we are watching them try to, do their 9 to 5 grind, make a buck, go home at the end of the day and just kick their shoes up and relax for a while, just trying to fit in and be normal. And for
Yeah.
some of them that comes kind of easy and it's nice and wholesome. And for others, it's got to be some kind of a struggle, and that would be hilarious to see. And the reverse is true too with like Mr. Satan, because you have this character who is just this normal, human, and by human standards, he is a very strong, very skilled fighter. Like, I don't want to take that away from him, but like next to these like uber powerful key wielding warriors and aliens and everything else. He's like an ant, and it's like him trying to not only, just kind of live with that and live with them in his family now, but also, like keep up his bravado in front of all that and find new ways to try to cover his butt. That has the potential to be hilarious.
Alrighty, awesome. Let's see. Okay, we got a couple of other questions here. There was. I just lost my whole train of thought. Oh, okay.
Says, sorry, Danny, but Gohan is the best father and husband.
Oh, that's okay. He can be wrong. There's no shame in that.
Hey, okay, but at this point,
rebuttal, bro.
Yo, seriously, Danny wasn't ready with that clap back.
Well, that's because
He didn't even take a full jump to get that response out,
I
bro.
was kind of already responding to that in the chat, so.
Oh.
Man said, congratulations, you're wrong.
That's what. Okay. So this one is coming from I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, brother. Ruspel Garcia. Which version of Dragon Ball Z do you like rewatching? And for those who might not be familiar, there's multiple versions of Dragon Ball Z. So you have the original Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z. Then we're speaking only because we live in the United States of America, so we grew up watching the English dub, the multiple English dubs of Dragon Ball Z. Then there's actually a refresh of the series with Dragon Ball Kai, where they went back and they condensed the series. They took out a lot of filler, and for the English side of things, they actually went back and gave Dragon Ball a competent dub. So in my situation, my preferred way of watching Dragon Ball, if you had to give me Dragon Ball, it's going to be Dragon Ball Z Kai. Why? Because it's the best English performances from the cast that we've ever seen, and it just gets to the point much quicker. Now, if you had to tell me you were watching just Dragon Ball period, I would watch the original Japanese version of Z, because even though it does have a lot of filler and it still's got a lot of issues, I do prefer the consistency of the performances in the Japanese version and the music versus what we had over here, which was kind of uneven. What about you, Rob?
All right. So when it comes to, I feel like man, I'm about to watch Dragon Ball. I'm about to watch me some Dragon Ball Z. I watch Kai. However, I will say there are moments from our original dub Z that I still am fond of, but I just watch those as clips on YouTube.
Oh yeah, like
I
that's
definitely
super
get why
sane.
some people still like, but like I can't watch that again, man. I can't go through that whole series again. So yeah, when it comes to me just watching, I watch Kai, but specific moments, yeah, I would just go to YouTube for that from the whole dub.
Copy. What about you, Jamie?
So I mean, obviously Kai is easily bar none the way to go.
Yeah, but I've actually of Kai fanboys in this podcast. My goodness.
Right.
And
well,
boy,
honestly, if we're even going, if you want to go a little bit farther and you want to go to next door over and talk about GT, sub is the only way to watch that gosh darn freaking.
Yeah,
series.
I agree.
The dub is literally like it's no.
He just says it's just no.
It's just no. That's beautiful, right?
Yeah, right there. It's just no.
It's just
Right.
no.
I'm gonna clip that and just use that as a reaction. It's just no.
Yeah, do it, please. No, but I've actually recently been getting more into. I know Danny. I've showed Danny a couple of these, and he doesn't like them. But
okay. I didn't say I didn't like them. I just don't really have time to get invested in.
So basically, on the internet now, there's a couple fan edits of Dragon Ball Z as well as Kai. That, like, say for example, they took Kai and they cut it down even farther to be even closer to the original manga. Like they took out the entire Bulma Ginyu Frog thing. They took out Vegeta turning into a Super Saiyan for the first time when he was out in outer space, because that scene wasn't in the manga. They even went as far as to change dialogue that wasn't even necessarily wrong, but like there was clips somewhere of that character saying a line that was closer, and they would edit it in to make it that much closer to the original manga. So I've been getting a lot into those, and I think those are pretty good. I watched a Buu Saga one not too long ago. I thought that was very well done. because as much as I love Kai the Final Chapters, I will admit that the pacing is not as good as the original Kai was.
Yeah, it was a little off.
Yeah, it was a little off, and the music was not very good either. But the that fan edit I watched, I felt was a lot better, and it cut out a lot of the unnecessary stuff in there. But that's just me. That's my take on that.
Copy. And Danny, what about you, brother? Are you going to be the one that tips the scales? What is your preferred way of watching Dragon Ball? Go ahead.
Go ahead, say what I know you about to say.
Read the manga.
Oh, there we go. Let's get it.
No, I'm
Let's
serious.
get it.
Like,
Let's
bro,
get it. Let's get it.
I
Let's
see so
get
many
it. Let's
people
get it.
who
Let's
say
get
that,
it.
you know, if I'm watching an action series, I ain't
I
looking
knew
at no
it.
static
There we
pictures.
go.
I wanted
There we
animated.
go.
It's like, no.
There
When
we
you
go.
see
Let's
what
get it.
Toriyama does in Dragon Ball, when you see the way he draws them panels, how he makes action flow, it flows better than most animated stuff I've seen. I am not even joking. Now, if you think you need to watch it, though, definitely go Kai. It is just like even the voice actors themselves, and this is why I never understood why people got so up in arms about the redub. But even the voice actors themselves said outright, you know, we had no experience when we were doing the original dub. We didn't know what we were doing with the original dub. We got scripts with missing pages for the original dub, yada yada. And this is our chance to fix that and do it right. And they think that they've done that right with much more experience. And it's like, I don't understand why you could take a look at that and be like, oh no, I don't agree with you. It's like they themselves are saying it, but okay. But beyond that too, like this weird narrative that it's for babies and everything else because of what they saw on Nickelodeon. Like I uploaded, I don't know how many times, clips of Kai that had blood in it, sometimes copious and gratuitous almost amounts of blood. And I think my favorite accusation I got from that was somebody saying that I took original Z footage and spliced the Kai audio into it. And it's like, okay.
Oh, stop.
I'm flattered you think I'm that good at editing, but I promise I'm not. But yeah, if you think you need to watch, you know, Kai, the original Dragon Ball anime is pretty good, although I do think that it did start to succumb to filleritis a little bit in certain places.
Yeah, that did not need to be like
especially
an 155
with like the King
episode
Piccolo
series,
stuff.
however long it
Well, no,
was.
the King Piccolo fight. Like what got to me was I was sitting there watching Goku square off with King Piccolo, right? And I'm watching this, and then it keeps cutting back to Bulma and Yamcha and everything.
Yeah.
Over there, wait, and it's like, why are you cutting away? Why are you cutting away? What was the point of that cutaway for 2 minutes of them talking about stuff that we're not even seeing right now? Go back to that, and it's like, you know, they padded it.
That's the thing. I did notice that too, because the Dragon Ball was like what, the first 16 volumes.
Oh gosh.
I want to say it was 16. Because if it was 16, they could have done that anime in under 100 episodes. Like there's.
Yes, it was 16 volumes.
16.
194 chapters.
Okay, and you know, speaking of 194 chapters, you guys, if you had any doubt in your mind on which
the article's live.
Oh, it's live. Oh, we gotta read that.
Oh, we gotta get deets. Do we have deets?
We got deets, and we got it, and it's live. Here we go. Actually,
there's Toriyama's
yep.
comment. Oh, that's it. That's literally all we got.
That is the exact same thing. That's all we fucking got.
2022 and Toriyama's comment. That's it.
That's it.
Oh my god.
Get hyped, you guys. Get hyped, you guys. Get hyped. Woo! Get hyped. Get hyped.
Yeah, we knew for the past 2 days.
You know, I feel so bad for Toei though, because they wanted to surprise people with this, and it got ruined. And if none of us had known this was coming and that just dropped, we'd all be so excited right now.
We'd be losing our shit.
Yeah, like just out of nowhere, they say, "Hey, we're making a new Dragon Ball movie. It's coming out." We're like, what? But yeah, let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna post the link in the chat for you guys to see. Okay, all right. So let's see. We'll answer a few more questions, and then we got to get out of here. Some of us got Resident Evil 8 to simp over.
Same.
Yep. Let's see. There was one really good question. Where's Navan? Where did he go? Where did his comment go? Dang it. Where? See, now everything is just all out of flux. Hold on. I'm going to find it eventually. Okay, but till I find that comment, here's one from Zach Y. Would you rather Dragon Ball continue as a bunch of movies or an actual series? Personally, I'm for the former. Well, in my opinion, I would prefer a series, considering Dragon Ball, we've always seen it as long-form storytelling. And you can tell a hell of a lot more stuff through a TV series with multiple episodes versus a 2-hour movie that, if you're lucky, you get it every 2 or so years. But if the movies are really quality, I wouldn't mind them being companion pieces like Dragon Ball Super Broly's. But I would definitely take...
The movies are guaranteed to get a theater release.
Yeah.
Definitely. Shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if, like, let's say, for example, Super wraps up and then they do like a trilogy of movies that has its own arc and they've mapped this shit out, you know, not like the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I wouldn't mind that. I think that'd be interesting where you have 3 movies to tell this story. That would be fun. What about you guys?
I think I have a feeling that I prefer a series, but I would like for the series to every once in a while have a movie and just let the movie be canon.
Yeah.
Like, build up to your break can be the movie and then start picking back up where the movie ends instead of trying to redo it.
Right.
I would just like for them to kind of be more on point so they can just have it be like that. But definitely as a series first. But I wouldn't mind, because now I can't go back. I love the thrill of going to see Dragon Ball in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Oh god, yeah, especially with the audience reactions.
Ooh.
Like that is one case where I have never seen so many overweight white people hollering in a movie theater.
I mean, those fans rival like the Marvel Endgame fans.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm really sad. I don't know about you guys, but my first time seeing the Broly movie in theaters, I didn't plan to see it that day, and I got out of work early, and I was like, shit, I'm just gonna go see the Dragon Ball movie, I guess. And I went on a Monday because I didn't see it opening weekend. I was out of the country opening weekend, so I saw it that Monday evening, and there was like maybe 6 people in there. No one was really hype. But the second time, I know. So I was just sitting there geeking out over that entire final fight by myself. But then the second time I saw it, we had a more lively audience. And a lot of people there hadn't seen it before. But I'd seen it. I was so excited to see their reactions. And, it did not disappoint, you know?
Beautiful.
I saw it opening night, and I'm talking like it was a packed theater. Like, every seat was taken. It was so crowded in there. Everyone was huddled around each other. It was so packed, and everybody was just going crazy.
Jamie, were you still living back home, or did you move to Dallas yet?
I was still in Houston at the time. Yeah.
Okay. I was about to ask because I remember in Dallas, one of my homies, Shokyo, he went to the premiere of it that they had at this big, like, I don't know if it's like the Dallas Convention Center or whatever, but it was like this huge thing, and it was decked out for the premiere. It looked so insane. I can only imagine.
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't go there.
Oh, okay. For the next one, you definitely gonna be there, bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
I remember just soaking it in and just thinking like, man, we finally come full circle when in the Broly movie, when Gogeta was charging up that final Kamehameha and you hear everybody in the crowd following along. And I remember thinking we have come full circle from when fucking Dragon Ball Evolution tried to get people to jump on.
Oh God, Kame!
I was like,
Kame! The whiniest ass Kamehameha I've ever heard.
And I was like, see, this is right now. This is we're in the theater and everybody's joining along in the Kamehameha karaoke moment, bro.
Oh, see, bro. Oh, all right. Since you brought up fucking Evolution, can we just talk about the fact that this man did first off, the Kamehameha has 3 different uses in that movie, which is so weird. First, it's a revival technique, then it's a destructive technique. Wow, good job, guys. But this man, dude, Kamehameha. Oh, okay. Okay.
I still remember that edit I made of that where I just spliced in a mushroom cloud after he fired it.
Just death.
He just executed it.
Yo, I'm dead ass about that. But
Saved us all. Roshi was the hero we never knew we needed.
the Kamehameha wave that somehow it's like you're a fucking dog that's gone wild and it takes you and lifts you up in the air. I've seen a lot of things in my days, guys, but I saw that.
Well, Chris, remember it's airbending.
And it ripples around the cliffs instead of destroying them. Yeah.
The motherfucker shot it and then jumped forward behind it.
Why would you
enhanced
jump
by the
into that?
And
Why
it's
would you?
enhanced by becoming horny.
Oh God.
What?
We gotta sit. You know what we gotta do?
Bro, come on.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you not remember that when Chi-Chi started teasing him like that suddenly he got instantly better at it and could control it like
ridiculous.
It's
like, bruh.
Didn't we call it?
Butterbean.
Yeah, there it is. Butterbean. Okay. Let's see.
So, Navon Wise asked, where do we think the franchise is heading versus where we want it to head?
Honestly, here's what I want, and mine's gonna be very basic, but sometimes that's what you need in life. I just want a consistent string of quality stories. Now, I enjoyed Super for what it was, but Super has a lot of highs and it has a lot of lows. The original Dragon Ball, even its lowest lows are still good. Super's lows are not great, and that's one thing I'm tired about with Toei. It's like, this is your golden goose. This is your franchise. This is your baby that's been running the game for over 30 years. And you can't enlist the top talent, the top animators, the top everything. Why is it? And no offense to you, Jamie, or you, Danny, for doing this, but why is it that we got to get excited that, oh, this animator is working on this episode instead of it being consistent all throughout? Like, that's my big deal. Like, I feel like Dragon Ball deserves a lot better. It needs to be in better hands. But if they can give me a consistent string of stories where I don't have to be like, well, this part is good, but it ended terribly. Like, I don't want that. Well, but that's just me.
Hold on real quick. I got to make another pause. So we have another small update.
There we go. What's this?
So Herms has translated the original Japanese Toriyama comments and actually notes that there are differences in the comments. So when they talk about the character, the supposed character who will be in it, it says he mentions a slightly unexpected character will play a major role.
Oh.
And when talking about the visuals, he says, and describes how the visuals are quote unquote refreshed and have turned out amazing. So it's a bit of a different translation.
And just like that, the plot thickens.
Yes, it does. All right, but anyway, getting back on point. Jamie, what is something that you want to see out of the franchise versus where do you think it's heading?
Something that I want to see out of the franchise. I would love to see... Man, that's such a loaded question. I would love to see Dragon Ball go past the end of Z. I would like to see that happen, if only because I feel like it's bound to. And I feel like that's where the series is really going to get the opportunity to really just stretch out its wings and fly. Because I feel like as good as Super was, I felt like there was a lot of things it couldn't do because, well, we have, end of Z.
Is it like, what was it, 7 years or 10 years between the end of Z? 10 years, okay.
So that's definitely something I would like to see. Now, as for where I think it's heading, I don't think we're going past the end of Z anytime soon.
No.
In terms of timeline chronology, from the beginning of Super to the end, is that even a year or so? Like, because I know it's hard to gauge.
We are very, very close because it's a 10-year time skip. But Bulma says at the end of Dragon Ball Z that she hasn't seen him in 5 years. And right now, where we are with recently Dragon Ball Super Broly, we are at like, correct me if I'm wrong, Danny, but I'm pretty sure we're at like 4.5 years, almost 5. Like, we are damn close to that 5-year mark already.
Oh, God. Yeah, well, we're getting kind of close, but, God, it's... It's getting to the point where they're almost going to have to do something beyond that, and I
Yeah.
think that might be. In fact, you know what? That just hit me. They talk about a slightly unexpected character playing a major part. What if it's Oob?
Ooh, yes.
Could be.
And what if we are setting up to get to where we are going to move past the end of Z now?
Oh, I
Because
would be down for that.
because it's a slightly unexpected character playing a major role. It could be something so much as Goku forming a spirit bomb and Oob lending his energy. It could be something as much as that. You
Could
know?
be.
Could be.
True. Very good reminder for people not to start thinking of the highest expectations.
It could be the smallest thing, but at the same time, you could end up wanting that shit more. Like if they actually do get to the point where they catch up to where the series ended, they end off season 2 of Super with the tournament with Oob, and then they go into new content material, whether that's whenever that's gonna happen in a couple of years. That would be interesting. But what about you, Rob? What would you?
One thing I want to correct real quick.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, and this is where Toriyama does love his wiggle room. Bulma doesn't actually say she hasn't seen Goku in 5 years. It's
Ooh.
that he only came. The last time he came to visit her was 5 years ago, and that she'd never see him if she didn't drop in on him.
Oh, so he didn't. It's like basically if I live in
So
if I live in New York, and then I don't, and then you always come to
So
freaking
technically,
New York. Okay.
he can get. I mean, it's a. You're really playing loose there, but technically, you're.
Got you. Alrighty, Rob. What about you?
Yeah. Let's see. What I would like. This might sound kind of weird for someone as myself that loves Dragon Ball so much, but I either want there at some point to be either a finale or like a completely new board. If you kind of get what I mean, like either at some point, like okay, let's say we do get past Z, like as far as Goku goes, like how big are these stakes gonna keep getting? I honestly feel like I personally feel that Ultra Instinct Mastered should be like the final stage. I think after that point, it's like Goku's just be like inducted as a god, bro. It's like something to where it's like it can't stay the same now. It's like so that's one thing I would like to see. Just an idea of like uh either a brand new board or just something that's finally gonna wrap everything up. Just because you know it's had a resurgence, it's had a beautiful resurgence actually, and these things are opening up on a celestial level, gods of destruction, and now you have a multiverse and stuff. It's great right now.
Real quick on what you said about Goku, basically in being inducted as a god or whatever.
Yeah.
That actually is how Sun Wukong's story ends in Journey to the West. He achieves Buddha.
Exactly.
So I mean that would be a fitting end.
Exactly. Like I would
Yo,
love
I'm
that.
real quick, guys. Real quick. I'm gonna be right back. I'll be back in 2 minutes. But after Rob, Danny, you can go ahead and answer the question.
All right.
Yeah, but that would be a wonderful way to end it right there. That harmony right there would be great. Just because it's like, I really can't see you squeezing that much more out of the rag when it comes to like Ultra Instinct and what it's doing, and it's like you almost essentially stating that if Goku becomes the master Ultra Instinct 1-to-1, he'd basically be like Whis, and then it's like okay, then what threats form then? So I would like to see a full on finale or get to a point where there's a whole new board. Like I'm not saying necessarily like jump so far forward that we're like with Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. That's my one GT reference you're gonna get out of me. You know, like something where it's like whole new protagonists and stuff like that. I would be open for that one day, not specifically with those two characters, but like it's either one way or the other. Because like we're riding high right now, but it's like you know you only can get lucky so many times. You know? So yeah, that's where I would like to see it. But and to wrap up real quick, where I think it's gonna go. Yeah, I think we're gonna be right in this little area right here for a while. I think Goten and Trunks ain't gonna get no more height to them, at least not for a good while. I think there's gonna be a lot more stories to tell just in this little guy. I would love for it to finally get to that point of Oob and stuff. Like I would like for and I thought about it for like a long time to get to that point when Goku flies off with Oob on his back. They're flying off to his village. I would love for where I believe that's where it ended. That's where it ended with Z, right? He flew off with Oob, like just to kind of recall.
Oob was on the Nimbus, I believe, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless, like I would like for them to just do something with like they fly off
Oh wait,
together.
that's the okay. Yeah, he was on his back in the anime and in the original manga, but when they did the expanded manga and the tankobons, they added one more page where Goku gives him the Nimbus. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. I would just like just for the sake of just kind of ending it all and people just realizing that okay, we're on a brand new path. It's like they fly off together. Uber's on Goku's back, and immediately right where you remember it ending in Z, immediately they kind of just get cut off by Whis, and Whis has something to say. And like just that little thing right there is like, oh, this is a completely new road we on right now. Something like that would be great as well too. But those are just kind of my loose ideas on what I would like to see. All right, Danny, you can go ahead.
All right, what I would like to see is I would like to see going beyond the end of Z. I would kind of like to see them sort of start to focus on a new generation of sorts. It would be interesting to kind of skip ahead, see some descendants. I actually did kind of like the angle they were going for with that Hero's Legacy OVA with GT. Simply because I actually think that is one of the only genuinely good pieces of GT media. Because it's just a genuinely good piece of Dragon Ball media. Goku Jr. in that case was not the Goku Jr. from the end of GT. He was a very unique and distinct character. He wasn't like Goku. He didn't, sit there getting all excited over a tournament or anything else. He wasn't, and he wasn't like a clone of like Gohan or Goten either. He was an actual distinct character, and I liked that. And then, he had that bully who winds up becoming his friend and everything else, and going from something like that could be interesting. I don't want specifically that, mind you. I do not. But like something along those lines of, jump ahead a little bit and maybe some of the characters, sadly, some of the original cast is going to pass away, and that's just something we're going to have to deal with. But, like, we could have, like, Goku and Vegeta kind of, excuse me, went to the godly realms to do whatever. We could have, I've even seen some people theorize that what's happening with Super is that Vegeta's basically being trained to become the new god of destruction, and Goku's being trained to become his attendant or angel or whatever. I don't.
Again.
Okay, attendant isn't the right word, but they're spinning it like that. But like the angel or whatever to his god of destruction, and I don't think that's the case. But like just something with them going up into the godly realms or whatever, they're out of the picture for a while. Okay. Things kind of reset on Earth in terms of like power scale. Heck, we have a case of Krillin with the having that Paradise Plant 18 already doesn't hardly age. What if they're still alive in the distant future and he takes the Roshi role or something, or even Roshi himself.
Damn,
Roshi himself might even still be kicking. Who knows?
We get deep into this.
You can have like cameos like that too, I'm too old to really fight anymore, but I can teach you. That kind of thing.
And I think out of all the series, Dragon Ball is poised for that because they've already established characters that could take up the proverbial mantle. So it wouldn't be like a sequel series like, oh, God, all the other sequel series.
In terms of where I think we're going to be, though, we're in terms of like official or canonical stuff, I think they're going to try to flirt with this era as long as they possibly can because it's very marketable. But like I think for the most part, a lot of what we're gonna see for like new stuff is gonna be stuff. Unfortunately, like Dragon Ball Heroes, where plot and everything else comes and characterization, everything comes completely secondary to just random fights and being able to sell trading cards and
Yo,
everything
the
else.
crazy thing about that, there's a lot of people I know out here in the real that actually like that stuff. That's the craziest thing. One of the dudes who works at the gym I go to, he's a bit like, obviously he says like, yeah, man, the story's bullshit or whatever, but yo, look at this shit, man. We're gonna get like Super Saiyan 8 or something soon. And I was like, oh damn, people really fucks with this shit.
Boy.
It's yeah, it's like that. But yeah, was there anything else you wanted to add on to it, Danny? Or
No, I mean that's pretty much it. I would like to be wrong, and I would love to see, I'd love to see the spin-offs happen. If they think they need to stay in this era, do the spin-offs. Right?
awesome.
Do Cop Krillin, do
Yeah.
Mr. Satan trying to keep his facade up in the middle of all this. Do Gohan trying to, go out there and be the great Saiyaman and have fun with it again. Do that kind of thing. I mean, people loved that in Super too. They adored that. In fact, that's almost universally beloved by the fandom in that series. Period. Full stop. But like, if you're gonna eventually we're gonna have to move beyond that, and if you're gonna do it, I think that's one of the ways we should do it.
Nice.
And I would love to see that finally come to pass.
Copy. Okay, so we're just going to rapid fire, and I mean really quickly bang out the next couple of questions because they're things that we've already addressed, but the people might have just joined the stream earlier. So if we're breezing by your question, it's not because we don't want to answer it. It's something that we already answered earlier on in the podcast. So I'm just going to scroll and blast. Now, this question, we got a lot of questions in regards to GT. Do you guys think they're going to lean into the canon territory? Do you think they're going to just come out and make it officially 100% canon, or are they going to do like their own version of it where it is a sequel series that takes place later, maybe do a hybrid like the Broly movie where they just take the things that they like and then they put their own spin on it? What do you guys think about that? Real quick.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be canon,
Yeah.
Yeah, if Toriyama's as heavily involved as his statement implies he is, this is almost definitely going to be an official continuation.
Oh, no. By that, I meant like Dragon Ball GT. Do you think that they're going to either make GT canon, like let's say Super ends, they like Super ends, and then it's just like they show us a glimpse and they show like the everything GT designs, or do you think they're going to take the Super Broly approach where they're going to take aspects of GT, maybe the Shadow Dragons, maybe Super Saiyan 4, and make that canon? What do you guys think?
I don't think they're touching GT. I think that's going to stay its own thing. I don't see them trying to sit there and remake it and try to rework it into things, especially since so much of it literally cannot work, because fundamentally there are things in GT that only exist in GT and only exist as a story thing because they're going off of things that happen in anime exclusive filler.
That's right.
And even then they take some of that stuff from anime exclusive filler and they change it to the point where it doesn't even really line up properly with that filler.
Okay.
So GT, can't even necessarily be considered a 100% full continuation even of the anime. I just don't think they're going to touch it. I think they might take maybe certain aspects of things that were established in there. But I don't think they're ever taking Super Saiyan 4. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Especially since that's not like that's just not a Toriyama thing. It's not. Super Saiyan 4 is not the kind of thing Akira Toriyama would have done. I don't think they're going to be taking like entire storylines or characters or anything and trying to stuff them in there. They might take some of the ideas behind some of the characters and do something like that. I mean, arguably, Granola technically has similarities with Baby in that regard, in that he's trying to get revenge against the Saiyans for what they did to his people. But I don't think that they're going to do anything further than something really basic like that.
Got you. Jamie, Rob, any last minute thoughts you want to add to that question?
No, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, a lot of people want to see stuff from GT. Like, a lot of people really want to see, like, a canon Super Saiyan 4. People have been wanting to see a canon Super Saiyan 4 so bad that was literally their want for a canon Super Saiyan 4 is the reason why the Super Saiyan God design was so hated. And it was so hated because about a couple months prior, there was that fan art of the golden Super Saiyan 4 design that everyone thought was going to be Super Saiyan God.
Yeah.
Then we got the real Super Saiyan God design, and everybody hated it because it wasn't the gold Super Saiyan 4. You know, it's not happening, y'all. Super Saiyan 4 is never going to be quote unquote canon. It's never going to be. I don't know why y'all think that would happen. It's just not. It's just not happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, Toriyama prefers his transformations, especially the more powerful ones, to be kind of more understated or like the opposite of what you'd expect. Like Zarbon, for example. When it came to a lot of series back in the day, you know, whenever you'd have an enemy who, you know, would transform, they would get ugly. That was like one of the few times he went conventional. But when it came to like Frieza's more bestial forms actually wound up, you know, being weaker, and then his true form, his final form, was significantly smaller and more slender and everything else. And you know, it's the same thing with Cell. You know, Cell got, you know, more monstrous and bigger and everything, and then when he actually got his perfect form, he shrunk back down a little bit and became more human in appearance almost. And same thing with Boo. You know, his ultimate final form or true form, as it were, the last one that he went with, you know, small, short. Like even Vegeta was sitting there making fun of his height. So, so that's how Toriyama tends to, you know, do his transformations. He likes them to be a bit more understated and simple. It's part of why he wanted to, you know, he doesn't like them overly complicated. He doesn't like them overly flashy. It's part of why he wanted to move away from Super Saiyan 3 and even Super Saiyan 2 and stick to like Super Saiyan. And that's why Super Saiyan Blue was kind of like a modification of Super Saiyan. Because to him, that, you know, and that's why too, Ultra Instinct even. The only thing that really changes is your hair color and your eye color to indicate something happened, but it's still very close to Goku's normal look because that's simply how he likes it. You know, to him, it's more like that transformation is part of you. You know, one with you when it looks more naturally like yourself.
Right.
Nice. And Rob, what about you, brother?
Yeah. If the only cause I just changed my mind that quick. I was about to say the only thing I can see being salvaged from GT would be Maju, but I think they like having Majin Buu around. So I don't think they would write him off by having him give himself to Oob like that.
Well, I'm not even 100% sure it would work that way, given that the reincarnation.
True, very true. That probably won't even be a thing. That was the only thing I could realistically think of that they would have tried to do, but then I thought about it. I was like, nah, they probably still wouldn't even do that, so to speak. Like, yeah, I really don't see what would be worth salvaging. And this is me just going past the fact that I don't like GT. This is like it's me just being literal about it. I know there's some people out there, and this is not me shading them for it. There are some people that like Super Saiyan 4 very heavy, but they like it for the visual, you know, and the visual solely, because a lot of people say like, man, it looks cool, it looks badass. You know, but it's like when it gets to the point when that whole bashing of Super Saiyan God started because it wasn't Super Saiyan 4, that kind of made me dislike the form even more now, because despite what people think, that's not all that Dragon Ball is. Dragon Ball, I mean, yeah, that whole joke about nothing but screaming and all that stuff. It's like it's that's not all that it is, you know. So it's like, so I'm in a way, I'm sorry. Like, if the only way we see Super Saiyan 4 again is through video games, which more than likely will be the case because the video games are never letting GT go. That'll probably just be as far as it gets. I really do not see what they did that's worth salvaging. GT had, GT had the one wasted opportunity. They could have been the first Dragon Ball arc in a long time where everybody got to have like a really good fight, but they didn't even do that with the Shadow Dragons. it was still Goku and Van and stuff. It was so nah. I don't. I think GT is gonna be exactly where it's at. I think at best they might try to sell them again, like some type of 4K remaster or some shit like that. Maybe, but yeah, I don't expect that to have any real meaning again. Yeah, I just gonna leave it like that.
Copy. All right, y'all. Well, whew, we went into overdrive with this podcast. Now, originally, we all thought and we all agreed that this is probably going to be a 90-minute joint. But honestly, it was about 45 minutes in when we were talking about Rob's history with the series that I was like, okay, no, we got a lot.
Bore anybody too much with that?
No. It wasn't even that, bro. Like, that was interesting stuff, but it just goes to show you, like, certain things you can't really put a time span on unless it goes over 4 hours. That's really different. But, you know, it was great, as always, chopping it up with you guys. Thank you all so much for joining me on not one, but two of these episodes. Rob, appreciate you pulling up and giving your perspectives about the series. Thank you for that, brother. Thank you. And everybody in the chat who's been rocking with us, we had the same consistent amount of viewers watching this entire stream and commenting. You guys are the best. Clap it up if you guys have been watching from the very beginning. Comment down below, let us know. But this is our time to say goodbye for the night. When we'll be back, who knows? But when we are back, you'll know that it's going to be on the
Spider-Man podcast. Wait, what?
Spider-Man podcast.
I'm not even. No comment on that one. Because if I say anything, that's gonna
start having people donate for it, man.
If I say anything,
if you want to see a Spider-Man podcast, drop a super chat right now.
No. Don't do it. No more.
We gotta do the Ed and Eddie podcast.
Oh, we definitely got to do that. And Danny, you've got to be on there because you got to take these L's. But we'll talk about that later.
You ain't gonna sit there forcing me to watch that.
Nah, yeah, we will. Anyways. So yeah, you know, again, I want to give a huge shout out to one person in particular, the homie Marcus Doyle Terrell, who has been pushing this podcast almost as hard as Danny. This dude, when I tell y'all, Marcus, I don't know if you're watching or maybe you're at work right now, but when I tell you, this man year after year has been constantly like, it didn't matter if I'm having a great day or a bad day. This dude said, so that Dragon Ball podcast though, there are many things you can say about Marcus, but a consistent man he 100% is, and we just thank you, brother, for giving us the swift kick in the ass that we needed to finally make this a reality. Guys, this is almost 10 years in the making of a bunch of admittedly busy dudes finally getting together and talk about this Dragon Ball. So, there he is, Marcus. Oh, appreciate you, Marcus. Everyone clap it up for Marcus. There we go. Clap it up for Marcus. So now it's time for us to say our final goodbyes, starting with Rob. Where can all these lovely people find you, brother? Where do you frolic and congregate?
Oh man, you can easily find me on Twitter at Rots112. I'm sure it'll be posted somewhere. It's spelled exactly how it sounds. You know, I'm typically on there. I talk about shit, everything, movies, comics, video games. If it's on the nerd table, I'll probably talk about it.
Nice. I'm gonna have all these guys' social media outlets and handles down below in the video description, so give these guys a follow. Danny, where can all these lovely people find you?
Well, I'm mostly on Twitter at swolf712. I do also, though, I don't talk about it as much, but I do also have a side Twitter where I actually post most of my hot takes on Dragon Ball, which is at DBMeta. So if you want to follow there and cringe, go right ahead.
Nice. And Mr. Jamie, again, brother, thank you for joining on this one. It was great to get you back on not one but two podcasts this year. We haven't done that since 2012. So where can all these lovely people find you in all your future voiceover endeavors?
So you can find me on Twitter. I still am using my Future Gohan SSJ2 Twitter handle for most of my posts, but I do have my more professional, streamlined Jamie Snowden Twitter. But you can also find me on YouTube at Jamie Snowden, and you might be able to find me on Twitch maybe in about an hour or so.
Oh, damn! You pulling double duty tonight? Okay.
So.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. And one last thing, Jamie, I just got to do this because I am that homie that hypes people up. You gotta brag about yourself, bro. You gotta brag. You gotta let them know again. Where can they hear you?
You can hear me on season 3, episode 4 of Log Horizon on the Funimation app and website. I
Oh,
play multiple characters throughout the episode, and you can actually hear me as like at least 4 people in the episode, so that was fun to do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So y'all go ahead and give that episode a watch to hear the homie future Gohan in action. But yeah, you guys, y'all already know where to find me. I'm over there on Twitter at NeoGameSpark. I'm here on the channel doing videos somewhat regularly. And yeah, again, thank you so much to the panel for sticking through this 3-hour podcast. Thank you so much to the viewers for sticking through this 3-hour podcast. It's going to be an exciting next couple of months as we hear more about this movie. And who knows, we might, maybe somewhat, by the end of the year, we might make a wrap-up video talking about all the news that they talked about. Don't hold your breath, people. Don't hold your breath. But I think we always do a year-end special. I think that's something we're always consistent at the very
always
least.
consistent. No, even though we need to be on here more throughout the year, but we always got you at the end of the year.
Yeah, at the very least, we got that. So yeah, signing off for the crew, y'all. Peace.
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 Peace.